This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets! This is Fireman Ed, and you're listening to Jets Commute, Monday through Friday from 8 to 10 a.m. Jet fans, let's rock MetLife Stadium this year. J-E-T-S, Jets, Jets, Jets. Go Jets!
Morning, CB.
What's up? Good morning.
Nothing. How was the weekend, man? You hear me?
PD, I couldn't even enjoy my Buffalo Bills hate watch.
Yeah, Caleb won. Congrats, Caleb.
Appreciate you, Petey.
Man, this is like one of your first in your life, huh?
Yeah, I cried tears of joy
I
last
bet,
night.
man. Good for you, man. You deserve it. You're one of the great people on this app.
I see y'all. I see y'all trying to get. I think y'all trying to get Lance Newmark. From what I heard, am I incorrect? My assistant GM.
They
I,
interviewed him, but
yeah,
I don't know if they're gonna.
they interviewed. I
Yeah,
mean, everybody.
can
So,
y'all stay away for like 2 years, please?
well, I think Magic Johnson said it best last night. They got the quarterback, but the ownership too. Like that's what the Jets need, the guy to just step back and away.
Yeah, I think. And it's crazy, bro, because our history shows that you with Dan Snyder and Bruce Allen and the dumb shit he did, that we were a franchise that was just dysfunctional. We had the talent, but the people upstairs were like little kids. I think now we're going to be an example of the NFL. I think we're about to be an example of the NFL that get you owner, GM, and stay out the fucking way and hire the right people. Because you got Cowboy fans last night quoting what Magic said, saying Jerry Jones take notes. But that ain't
Yeah, I
happening.
mean,
That's
but
not
bro,
happening for them.
when Magic speaks though, Magic is like Jordan, man, for real.
Magic wins wherever he goes. He wins wherever he goes.
Yep, well, good for you, man. Maybe the
We're also
Jets will be there one day.
we're also 3-0 versus Detroit all time in the playoffs.
So Peter, you think we're gonna have a GM by the end of the week?
Yes. Sorry, Anthony. Yes, I do. I
Who do
think
you
it'll
think
be
it's
the.
get? Who do you
I
think
don't
it's
know,
gonna?
man. I have no
I really
idea,
hope
bro.
it's not this Vikings guy, man.
I just do not trust them. And until they prove me wrong, I'm going to be in this mentality. Anthony, I'm being called having a loser mentality now on here.
Well, Petey, I mean, what do you think about the rumor of the Vikings GM and Flores?
Oh, the guy. Nah, I mean, I got it.
No, I'm saying like, what do you think about that combo? Like, would you feel like all right with it, or would you be
I
pissed
mean,
about it?
and honestly, I don't even. There's nothing I could do. I
No, I'm
every
just
time.
asking how you
No, no,
would
no.
feel. I mean,
I
obviously,
mean, I don't care. Flores, I wouldn't mind. I'm
yeah.
upset because Vrabel was my number one guy.
Well,
So,
yeah, no,
but I
yeah,
never
me
get
too.
what I want by the Jets. So I never get that what
I
I
just
want from them. So
that guy Grissom doesn't have a good track record with
yeah, I know. I
the
saw some
Colts.
He's
of his
worse than
drafts.
Joe Douglas, Greason. I'd rather Joe Douglas than that stiff Greason. He's
I mean,
terrible.
I don't really mind Flores that much if he brings McCown with him as OC.
Yeah, I
But I
just
mean,
want an experienced somebody in the staff that's experienced, man. I just,
but I don't know. A lot of people have been giving this guy a lot of like. They haven't said great things about him,
hmm
Flores. That kind of bothers me. Like I would rather. Like I know a lot of people don't want Glenn. Listen, and but I'm not against Glenn because he's an unknown, and like I'm willing to go with the unknown, and he's coming from an organization like Detroit right now that they turned it around. So
hmm
maybe he can try and mirror some of that over here on what he's learned. I mean, I don't know. That's the only reason why I would want Glenn because it's more of
Yeah,
an unknown and something that it's kind of like, well, he's learned this, and that. Maybe he could bring that here. I'd rather take a chance on that.
Yeah, and here's my biggest problem, and it's because of the fans. The fact if the Jets start off, because nobody's going to have expectations. I have expectations for next year, man.
And what is that?
And
So do
I
I,
want to
Petey.
be.
I want them to
I
win.
no. I know. I want to be competitive. I'm not
Right?
accepting
Yeah.
Is
I want.
three.
Right.
competitive
Yes.
playing for meaningful football in December?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Then I think I don't think that's going to happen. I think
Well,
you're looking at the exact same season we just
I'm
had.
not going. Yeah, Brad. I'm not
I
going
don't.
into a season as a
I don't.
loser. Sorry.
I'm
Well,
not
not even
either,
that,
but you
Petey.
got
I
to
don't
set
think
it
it's.
be real.
I don't think it's okay to give a coach and say, "Oh, it's all right if you win 4 games this year."
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's like. I don't think any coach should get a pass. I mean, it's not like the roster's like a bottom 5 roster.
Well,
What
You
that's
was
what
the
know?
I'm
year?
saying.
What was the year? Remember the Bills traded Marcel Darius. They started Tyrod. They made it as a
I
wild
mean, look at
card.
the
They
look at
watched
the
it.
Look
2018,
at
I think.
I
look
would
at the
love for the Jets to have that kind of season, and then the following year they traded up to get Josh Allen. That
Yeah, I mean, let's
I
see.
mean, look what the Broncos
But
did.
I'm not. But yeah, but I'm
Look what
not
the
will.
Broncos did
Yeah,
though.
and
They
I'm not.
they
I'm
were
not willing to trade draft picks for future years right
le-
now.
no, I
Sorry.
mean last year, right? The Broncos weren't they in a playoff hunt, or am I wrong on that?
this year or last year? You're talking about
Last year.
last? No,
They were in the hunt until the end, correct? Or am I wrong?
I don't think so.
Until they benched Wilson, correct?
I think
I
you're right.
I thought they were a bad team,
I
but
think
I
you're
don't
right.
remember.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Let me just.
then they benched Wilson, and then it kind of went down from there.
Yeah, let me just say hello to Mark. Good morning, Mark. Office. Mark.
Hey, Petey, what's up, man?
Yeah, I mean, I know you're going to want to say
Morning,
something.
Pete.
Yeah, good morning, office. Congrats. And listen, before we get into Mark, uh, I'm sorry, man. I know it's the postseason, but I think Lamar still has a shot at the MVP. Big
Me
time.
too.
And that's not a slight on Josh Allen.
No. Um,
It's all good, buddy. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? Ravens still got a lot of work to do.
yeah. Well, it's important too to note for the race that it ends with the regular season. So what they're doing after, right? I think that's pretty much how they do that. But yeah, so an update. On Sunday, we yesterday we reached the goal. Um, we announced the I mean, look, late Wednesday night, my wife told me we were gonna do or had set up the GoFundMe, I guess. And then Thursday, I sprung it on Pete and was like, "Hey, Pete, can I talk about this in the room?" And he said, "Of course." And I took a screenshot at the time, and we had some $5,200 raised, which, by the way, that surpassed our expectations of what we were going to get, and some 27 individual contributions. I just checked this morning; it's now over 21,000. And there's more stuff that's coming in that's outside of their platform, outside of GoFundMe. Like folks have Venmoed and people are mailing, old school folks are mailing checks and stuff. With 177 individual contributions. So that's 150 people. I mean, folks that there are names in here I don't recognize of people who have given. So, like, first of all, I want to make sure I tell people kind of what happens next because actually Sophia's going in for a procedure tomorrow, and I want to talk about that and kind of what the road looks like. The First of all, thank you. I want to say that for my family. Thank you. Um, the Obviously the money it really decreases our worry and concern about all this. Imagine having something like this that can help your daughter and not being able to fund it and afford it. Like that worry as a father. We're not worried. Like we're going into this. If the doctor says, and I'll explain a little bit more about the whole thing. If the doctor says, listen, Mark, Sophia was incredible with this treatment, and it turns like the results are and I'm crossing my fingers because I'm trying to temper expectations. But if he's like, look, this is incredible, and now we want her to come back in 6 months instead of a year, we can snap our fingers and make that happen. Like we can go in and do like that's. I can't tell you what that means. The other thing I want to say is that outside of before I go into like what happens next, outside of the money, which obviously that helps, the outpouring of support has been incredible. The messages I've been getting, folks that liked and shared and like and reposted and like let people know that this was even going on, and even folks that weren't able to give because of their own family situation, but they liked and shared and reposted, like that was incredibly impactful. 150 people were able to give because folks were telling people about what we were doing. And the messages I've gotten, prayers for my daughter that from people I've never met. Like we're overwhelmed. I am floored by all of this. And I told Pete, like when we hit the donation, when we hit the goal, I went through phases emotionally of like being shocked and being in tears and then being shocked again and then being over the moon. And then like, it's been a roller coaster of emotions with this whole thing. So I just want to share all of that with the room. And the other thing too is that now I feel like there's so many people who are invested in, both literally and figuratively, in like what happens next with my daughter, which is crazy to me. I'm a very private. I know I'm in here talking and we talk sports and whatever, and I use my real name and face and blah blah. I'm a really private person. Like I don't post a lot on social media. I rarely post on like I have concerns about even like even when my daughter was born, I'm like, I don't know if I want to even post her on social and stuff. Let it be her decision. Like I'm very private. You know what I mean? Like, but this situation I got, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? But a lot of people now are invested in her. So I want to make sure I tell you guys what happens next. So tomorrow we're going in for the first procedure. So all day tomorrow is about her. We go in, we go to the doctor. They do like an extraction. So basically, they put her under anesthesia and then they extract some cells, which they're trying to get stem cells, which is what they do. What they do is then they culture those cells to give her enough of those cells to last her through adulthood. So that, then with future treatments, they just go back to the cells that they cultured. It turns into vials, and they have to freeze the whole thing. Anyway, so that extraction is happening tomorrow, and then and that's covered. Like we're not worried about like it's covered. So now in 6 weeks later, they bring her in again, and that's when they actually do her first treatment, which is again like anesthesia, and then they hook an IV up to her, and it's like 2 to 3 vials. They give her the vials and it goes right in her bloodstream, and then they give her some stuff that makes the blood-brain barrier a bit more permeable, so like it can go to the areas of the brain where it'll do the most good. And then folks have seen almost immediate, like they've seen significant results by doing this. The cells actively help remove and clean up any kind of scarring in the brain and damaged areas of the brain, and then they help spur growth, like actually growing new cells in the brain that are brain cells. Like that's part of what this process does, which is, listen, man, I'm older. I was taught from what I remember from whatever junior high and high school biology, that you can't repair brain cells. Like that's the joke that, you drink and then you kill brain cells. Like apparently that's not true anymore. And this stuff actually like will heal, repair, remove scarring, and repair things. And here's the thing, okay? We have MRIs from when she was born, and then another MRI like when she got her official diagnosis. So it's like we're gonna have a picture of what happened before and then where she's at after this is all. I can't wait. I can't wait to see what. Anyway, that's a lot of information, but I want to make sure folks know exactly what's going on. And then what's more, like 6 months, after this happens and the doctor does an evaluation. And by the way, right after the treatment, We already have all our the same day we've got therapists lined up to do to work with her, physical work, to like get her to try to do stuff and move her. Like we already have all that care lined up because we're trying to help her brain figure out what's supposed to be doing. So like we're doing all our due diligence to try to make sure that um, that this treatment and that every dollar that's being spent is going to have the most impact. That's what we're up to.
Yeah, that's
Um,
awesome, Mark.
yeah, that's the it's so anyway. That's all of what's
My
going on.
prayers go out to you, man, for sure.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
the amount of the outpouring of honestly the messages I've got from people even that are not terribly fond of me, the everything that I've received, it's just been incredible. Like I'm floored by the outpouring of support. My wife can't believe it. My wife thought when we started this thing, she's like, "Oh, maybe we'll get $1,000, and then as a family, as we're going to budget and try to make this thing work. And if it's super impactful, we're going to have to figure out how to do, two of these a year instead of one of these a year. Just so you guys know, two of these a year would cost us 14K to do that instead of the 7K per treatment. So like that's how the money, yeah. And I see Office crying like, listen, man, this is stuff that's not covered by insurance. I don't know why. I don't want to go on a whole. I don't want to go to a soapbox and give a whole speech about modern medicine and um, that it's better for them to monetarily. It's better for them to treat something than it is to cure something. That's a whole other conversation, and I don't want to get political in here. But this has been proven. Like last night I was on YouTube scouring for videos of kids where there were kids that weren't even talking, that were like non-responsive before a procedure like this, and then they get this, and then they start talking. I'm like, holy shit! Like I'm floored by what this could mean. And this is stuff, by the way, that's 7 years old. Some of these videos. The fact that insurance doesn't cover it today is crazy to me. But anyway, all right, Pete, I want to peek it in, and then I want to shift to football because I want to talk about Mike Vrabel and I want to talk about the coach search and the weekend and all of that. Pete, are you there?
I'm here, just listening.
All right. Well, I'll just pivot to football then. Mike Vrabel.
Wait. I'm
Oh,
gonna
go
joke with
ahead,
you now.
Pete.
Nah, Mark. Listen, you've been with me. Pause. It's over 2 years doing this. You've been my right hand guy. You know, I'm happy for you, man. I'm here for you. All right. It's what we do.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. And it's wild. 2 years of arguing about a team that just can't, like, hapless. They just can't figure it out. Like, it's a 5-win football team. And a bunch of people come in here to talk football and the draft and college and salary cap and, X's and O's and all of that. And people come in and talk about it. And now it's turned into this. Dude, 150 people gave. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I'm Mark. It was nice, man. And like I said, when you drop that, listen, Mark is a very private person. And when he sent me that text message, I shared it the other day. I almost dropped my phone. Saw that the goal, and I'm like, oh my God. And I was just stunned. And then, God did all the work after that. So I don't want to go on a speech, Mark, because I get pretty emotional. So, we're here for you. Everybody contributed. It wasn't just me, it was everybody. You all did. And shout out to you all. Whether you liked it, retweeted, sent it, commented, that's what's important about this. So, and I'm for all this, and this is not of what happens in other spaces. I like to talk football on here, and if it gets personal, it's done. I don't want to hear it. June, on the other hand, with Doom and June, that's driving me nuts. But
I just changed my name, man.
yeah, I know that drives me nuts. But you know, uh, it's
I'm
whatever
what
this is, whether it's a community, a space. I want it to be fun. And listen, I'm serious, but I just want people to have a good time in here and feel welcome. That's that's my goal. So, Mark,
Mark.
whatever we could do for you, if you need something else, don't hesitate.
Hey, Mark.
Good morning, Mark. Yesterday on my birthday, I spent
Yeah,
the
the
first
Eagles
hour.
won.
Mark.
Happy
It ain't.
birthday,
It
T.
was. It wasn't about that.
I'm here.
I was gonna say the first hour of my birthday, I actually prayed to my Lord and Savior, for a safe recovery and safe surgery for your daughter, man. You a good dude. You always been cool and kind to me. You know what I'm saying? I hate when God sometimes do this to good people, but you know what, nigga? You a good nigga and you my nigga. So we gonna keep you prayed up. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, T. I appreciate that.
Nah, I really mean that from the bottom of my heart. But outside of that, goddamn it, y'all know
Oh,
who the fuck
God.
won yesterday. Y'all know what the fuck going on. Fuck is
I,
wrong with these niggas?
I quit,
Y'all
man.
said, no, 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 no. They said, you gotta be scared of Jordan Love. Jordan Love. Jordan Love. This Jordan look like a piece of shit.
All right, before we
That segue was crazy.
Yo.
that's epic. All right, can I
Yo, wait,
before we
Mark,
get
that segue
yeah.
was like when John Vogel was on the other day, and then T started whispering, saying he found out, oh, shit. He's like, oh, shit, man, you an Eagles fan? Then he just started mumbling shit, bro. It was classic.
All right,
Oh,
before we
gosh.
get into there's a lot before we get into playoffs, can we talk about Mike Vrabel for a second?
Would love to,
Um,
brother. Let's talk about him.
all right. And June, good morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning there, my brother. Good morning.
So the fucking Jets. All right, so all right. So let's take a little trip in the Wayback Machine on this one, okay? Let me rewind. And before folks think
Yes.
it's just all about what I've been saying about Week 5 and then them firing the coach and all that, there's another wrinkle
Yes, it
which
was.
emerged for me, when New England did what they did, which is right Week 5. Woody decides, you know what, we're going to blow up the season and basically fire the head coach, and of course that's supposed to provide a spark. I'm still waiting for that spark. Maybe it's that happens in 2025. Who knows? The spark, I don't know. All right. The other byproduct of the firing of Robert Saleh Week 5 was that now the Jets were going to be able to get a head start on their coaching search. So like they could go and really do the and find the right guy to fill the role. And even from last season, like I said, okay, well look, why is Tennessee firing Mike Vrabel? Like the Jets should do whatever they can to get Vrabel in here. He's just a proven guy, and now I don't have to worry about the owner being a knucklehead. And like Vrabel's respected, like it's gonna be him. And then New England emerges, and New England's like, you know what? We're gonna go ahead and fire our coach. Which, by the way, firing Gerard Mayo after 1 year. Show me a coach that in 1 year is able to build a culture. Like, did this guy not get the short end of the stick? That's fine. And then I also see, and then the Rooney Rule joke, which is a joke. Leftwich and Hamilton in a joint tweet with one picture. I would be shocked if either of those men could tell me what the lobby even looks like for New England with this firing. And then I hear from New England fans, oh, well, what about David Culley and the Texans? And what? I don't want to hear whataboutism. Okay. And I'm also not saying that New England should be allowed to hire Vrabel, but if the league doesn't throw the book at these guys, I don't know what the hell they do. I don't know what Goodell's doing. They spit in their face. I don't get it. All right. But here's the problem. The Jets have now this epic search. What's the tally up to for GM and head coach? And you're telling me that New England's able to fire and then hire their next head coach, and the Jets are still interviewing guys? That's what the hell is going on here? So where does this leave the Jets? I mean, Vrabel was my first choice because he would have brought stability. Now, honestly, Glenn is my top choice, but here's the other. Even over Glenn, if the Steelers are boneheaded enough to part ways with Mike Tomlin, that's the guy I would prefer in the role. Another proven guy. I know folks are like, oh, but Mark in the playoffs and blah. You know what? Anytime they hire a defensive-minded guy, we're going to have to be concerned about the offensive coordinator that they hire with the pairing and the quarterback play. Like that's going to be regardless if they bring a defensive guy in. But Tomlin is a proven guy, and because of the owner, I don't feel comfortable with the best candidates for GM and head coach, like even splashing and taking a chance, I don't feel comfortable with that because I don't feel like those guys with this owner are going to have a shot, a real shot. That's why I want a proven person, and that's where it's Tomlin. And if it's not Tomlin, just the last part, and then sorry, I'll hand the mic over. If it's not Tomlin, Glenn is my choice, largely because I think I like the story. What I want is I want Detroit. Sorry, T. I want Detroit to go win it all. All right. I want Glenn, who is part of that process of turning a team from tragedy into triumph, which a lot of these top candidates are coming off of terrific teams that have been like in the hunt kind of, and then are terrific now. I would rather, Glenn was there from when they were real bad, and now it's like, okay, now they're real good. I think the Jets need some of that. I also like the story of having a former player taking um, taking some of that juice of going from tragedy to triumph and bringing that to the Jets because they need that. They need a shock to the system in terms of going from losing culture to winning culture. Like they need, and that's why I think Glenn. Now we're always going to have a question about who the OC is going to be whenever you take a DC in, right? He needs that help, but that's where I'm at now, and I'm still mad.
You left one
I'm
thing
mad.
out though. The best
Yes, go ahead.
the best candidates, including Vrabel, were all available, and we ran it back with Rob Saleh. That's where this went wrong. Running it back with Rob was where this went wrong. You had Vrabel. Vrabel was available. There was no competition. Forget Harbaugh. Yeah, Belichick was still available too. We didn't need the best head coach of all time. Like all this stuff was there, man. All of it was there. So we didn't lose out on Vrabel this year. We lost out on Vrabel last year.
Mark,
And
the
look,
biggest problem is Woody too. That's the biggest. That's the biggest problem.
but wait. How about the side that we're not looking at it at? Now you're gonna have to compete with two good coaches in your division, McDermott and Vrabel, and we don't even know who our coach is yet.
Yeah, I still think for some reason I know Glenn might be the favorite, but I think Matt Nagy still has a shot too.
And he should. He should.
Yeah, but June, you
All
got
right, we
no
got the
talent for him.
hands.
You want your guy with no talent.
All right,
All
I
right,
all
hold
want.
on.
I want to get his audience a blank canvas and a bunch of paint and paintbrushes and let him
but
work.
June,
Let him work. But Petey,
nah.
You guys got
Listen,
hands.
yeah, I know. There's hands. I think it's Office, and then Mr. Dolphin. I think that's Andy, and then Jokes.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead, Office. Good morning. Yo,
offense.
yo. All right, Andy. Go ahead, man. What's up? Are you here, Andy? There you are.
Hey, what's going on,
What's
guys? How
up,
are you?
man? Hey,
What's
we're
going
in
on, brother?
competition
Happy.
for the worst coach in the division now.
I think the division got a little stronger when it came to the head coach. You know, you got the New England Patriots signing Mike Vrabel. Um, who knows what's going on in Miami with Mike McDaniel, and then you got Mr. Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott in up Western New York with the Buffalo freaking Bills, who I hate with all my freaking guts, man. I'd rather watch the Jets win a Super Bowl before them, man. But either way, I think when it comes to the Jets, head coaching position, I still feel there's still time. It's early on. Right
It's
right
it's
now you
it's the
only have
playoffs, and as soon as I come into space, a dolphin got a mic. What are we doing?
Lee Sean, let him go.
what's wrong with the Dolphins, bro? Come on, bro. We're
A
all
lot.
in this together, bro. But either way, man, I'm gonna let you guys continue with the conversation. But you know what, man? The Dolphins are not good, and next year we're gonna freaking suck, bro. Continue on, guys.
Thanks, Andy. Lee Sean, way to run him out of town.
Yeah, you can call
Jo-
me
Jo-
border patrol. I come in,
yeah, all
motherfuckers
right.
start running. Here come the border
Ho-
patrol.
hopefully,
What an
doesn't happen this
asshole,
weekend.
yo.
Go ahead, Jokes. Good morning.
I don't even know how to go after that. Fucking Lee Sean. Um, I got a hot take for you that most people aren't going to agree with, but when you think about this a little bit later on, you'll agree. I'm actually happier that Vrabel went there and not Ben Johnson, and I'll tell you why. Uh, I think there's a cap to how good Mike May's going to be. Like, you really trust Vrabel to develop that kid? I think that if Ben Johnson went in there, that kid would be stomping our ass out for the next 10 years. So I I know that it's doom and gloom and like it's kind of our coaching search has been embarrassing. Um, but I don't know. I'm not. Rabel started off like he was white hot and he ended with a whimper. He's talking about bringing Chad O'Shea as his offensive coordinator. If he brought in Josh McDaniels, maybe it might be different. With us, we're kind of at a crossroads, right? And I think Buckeye said it before. You had Jim Harbaugh and you had Mike Vrabel last year, and we're kind of at a different. The windows are different. The timelines are different. When we had the opportunity to have people like Mike McCarthy and people wanted to come here, we could have sold them on a dream. Yeah, it's Sam Darnold. He was young, right? You don't have that right now. We really don't. What's the selling point to the Jets? Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, a blown up cap space.
Beautiful MetLife Stadium, Jokes.
MetLife Stadium. What's our selling point? We really don't have one. So Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, from my understanding, those guys told us we're not interviewing with you. Um, mm, I think that we're conditioned to because we've been so bad that we want to just be good. So like we're looking at Aaron Glenn, we're looking at like the cookie cutter guys, man. Like this is what we've always been doing. Like the league tells you Robert Sala's what he's due and he needs to be hired, and we hire him. When Todd Bowles and that circle came around, Todd Bowles was at the top of the league circles and he needed to be hired, and we did it. Like we gave the next up and coming guy an opportunity that everybody else was talking about. Adam Gase that was weird. I think that we need at this point in our juncture and where we are, I think we need to be a little bit more creative. Then I'm going to harken back to when we took a chance on a guy that nobody ever talked about, Mangini. Nobody thought that guy was ready, right? He ended up building the bones and the structure that propelled us to have probably the most prosperous time we had in 20 years. I think we're at a crossroads now where we need to start thinking outside the box. I don't think that we should continue to do the same thing. Aaron Glenn and all. Go take a chance on Josh McDaniels. Excuse me, Josh McCown. Go take a chance on. I don't know. You need to take a risk. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen? We've been bad for 14 years. People bring up like, oh, Josh McDermott, and he got Josh Allen's a fucking unicorn. That guy comes around once every 20, 15 years. Okay, like you can't use that as the example of just bring in Aaron Glenn and look, whatever the fuck his name is, Sean McDermott. He developed Josh Allen. Josh Allen's going to be Josh Allen no matter where the fuck he went. Those guys are few and far between. I just think we're at the point that we need to take a chance on an unknown and stop just following the trends of, well, this is the next hot coaching. Aaron Glenn's not even a good defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn doesn't even have the resume that Saleh did when we hired Saleh. Who cares if he played with us 20 years ago under Bill Parcells? They think that that's a selling point, that he's a Bill Parcells guy. That was cool 30 years ago. Like I just think that we need something different. And who cares? Like take a chance. And if we're bad, who cares? We're bad now. What's the worst what's the worst that could happen?
I can't disagree with that.
Oh, go ahead, Hawks.
Morning,
I'm
Petey. Morning, everybody.
I'm speechless after that, guys. I'll get you up in the requests. Good morning, Hogs. Hope the new baby's well.
Yeah, he's good. He's just down 4 ounces and loving life here. Listen, guys. Mark, first of all, to your daughter, to your family, prayers and everything. All the best wishes for you guys. Great. Just what this community was able to do, is awesome. So, shout out to you, Mark, and your family. Um, Listen, Mark, you hit the nail on the head with the whole variable situation. That variable situation was a complete disaster. They knew right away what they wanted to do, and the Rooney Rule has to be relooked at because that was just a total sham. There's no doubt about that. Um, I got to tell you, guys, this coaching search right now, this GM search, with us interviewing close to 40 people now. It's kind of scary here, guys. It really is. Um, this team.
Can I ask you one question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why does the running rule need to be revisited?
The Rooney Rule has to be revisited because the two guys the Patriots brought in are lower tier candidates. You have a guy in Byron Leftwich who's been out of the league now for close to 3 years, and you have Pep Hamilton, who has been the most he's been has been an offensive coordinator, and that was a few years ago as well.
Can I say something? I don't think it was about the level of what they were. It was a sham, right? I think that's more about it was a sham, and Vrabel
They
was
just wanted black bodies in there
yeah.
real quick.
Vrabel
That's
was
right.
always gonna that
That's
And then, but to further hogs what you're saying, there's not going to be there's no punishment. Like the Albert Breer monologue was cute. Nothing's going to happen because they followed it to the letter of the rule.
Yeah,
Interview two minority
yeah,
candidates. That and I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Like everybody was up in arms when we interviewed the guy from Maryland.
yeah.
That guy's a bum, by the way. You know why we did that, right?
no.
To
Because
satisfy the rule?
correct, but to satisfy it quickly enough so that we can we tried. Vrabel used us twice.
Yep.
He used us to get Gerard Mayo fired, and then we got used again for negotiation purposes to drive up the price.
Yep.
So like we were like a
A
hold on,
chess
wait a minute.
piece.
We no, we were like a $2 whore. All right, like that's what we were used like.
I'm not anti-Vrabel, but don't we
Damn.
have but
Wait, Jokes, you telling me that Mike Vrabel came to New York, you know what I'm saying, went and
Yes,
got a deep dish, pizza,
yes,
and
and
then
and
and
said
then
thanks
he
for
hopped
paying
his
for it.
bitch ass back on the plane and went to Boston?
Correct. Yes, he said thanks for the free dinner.
I'm not
Wow, that's
anti-Vrabel, but don't
crazy.
we have all of his fucking coaches that we hate on our staff? Like his selection of coaches were fucking awful.
Well, obviously, he didn't want them niggas. He didn't want them no more.
Well, actually, technically speaking, he can hide them right now.
Take him. Keith
They're unemployed.
Jackson, like he can have them all right back. But I
Yeah.
agree with what Joe said about I think keeping the right OC mind away from Drake May was probably a Vic.
Man, look, do you realize that we helped them out again at quarterback by winning the meaningless game?
Well, technically, we helped out the Commanders too.
Unfucking believable, bro.
By the way,
Unfucking.
what a win by them last night. That was incredible.
That was a good game.
Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
hey, PD, I called my cousins. Them niggas was mad as hell, boy. They was mad,
We're
PD.
down in Tampa.
Hell yeah, they was
Oh
mad.
yeah, bro. Well, yeah. Let me tell you. Remember, I'm still here. Oh, they was heated. They
Oh,
heated.
I'm
They
sure
heated me right
people
P-
now.
want Foles
PD,
gone now.
PD. I got a lot of cousins with wicks and golds, nigga. All I did was call one nigga. I seen about 40 cousins with wicks and golds, just pissed the fuck off, just mad.
T, quick correction. We don't fuck with deep dish in New York. That's not a thing, bro.
Oh my
We don't
god, I
fuck
don't
with
give
deep
a
dish.
fuck.
Yeah, we don't. That's Chicago.
Yeah,
I
T,
don't give
you
a
should know.
fuck.
T, you should know that growing up in the wood.
I ain't grow up in the wood. My cousins did. I ain't grow
Yeah,
up in the
but
wood.
still, you know it doesn't happen in the wood. Come on.
You know what's crazy? I've been to Cliffwood one time in my life. Nigga. I don't know what y'all be doing.
Yeah, get the Vino, man. V, what up, brother? Good morning.
Yeah, Tom had a hand up.
Oh
Yeah,
shit,
Then
I'm
no, no,
Tom
sorry.
and
Tom
then
was before
Vino.
me, bro. I was about to
You're
say,
good.
let Tom go.
I'm sorry. Tom Ford.
Tom Ford.
Love your
Morning.
glasses, brother. Love your glasses.
I know I rock them myself there, June. Love the new logo, by the way, with that in name there. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, man. I am what the people wanted.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big
Wait,
Marvel geek, so I love
hold on,
Doctor Doom.
Tom, 1 second. Guys, I gotta stop
He
this.
did.
I cannot.
Yo.
I'm gonna be with June every day. Pause. I cannot. No, don't
I
encourage June.
I
Okay.
am
Thank
what
you.
the
I'm just a
people
Marvel
wanted.
geek as well, besides a football geek. So I appreciate the Doctor Doom reference in Avatar. So that's part of that's the
Yes.
main reason there, PD. All right. Don't
Yes.
worry.
All good.
I am
Thank
what
you.
the
All right.
people
So
asked for.
before my point, Mark, I'm glad you got what needed and you're getting the support. Love you, appreciate you, and hopefully this first step helps to what your daughter needs, Mark. But reason I requested was with jokes. It's not a bone to pick. It's I would say a disagreement because seems like the consensus is, especially with this season with what Aaron Glenn has done with the defense, because they've had how because I think we mentioned it last week on Spaces. They've had how many of their key starters or players on IR this year? Like
6 or 7 from the defense.
yeah, so half almost the whole defense has been on IR. That's the starting, and they've made it to the number one seed. That's not that's not a coincidence right there as far as I'm concerned. He's put in his time. He was a scout for us first. He was what assistant or secondary coach in New Orleans, and then this is season 4 for defensive coordinator for the Lions, and they've steadily improved. I mean, would I be happy for Aaron Glenn? Of course. Would I be happy with Flores as Samini has even stated that's a possibility because apparently the leading candidate right now for the GM Vikings ties or ties with Flores? I'd be okay with that too. The key part though is if it's Glenn, then the GM better be right to make sure and help him make sure he's a success. Or whoever we get. We gotta make sure the GM and coach are at least on the same page and at least works better out than Sal and Douglas had the chance to. You know? Like let's not completely, crap on Glenn being the top can right now because it seems that way. Because there's still some people that think he's gonna go to the Saints. Which
I
I don't know
still think he
why
will.
he would be there, because
I
it's
think
cap hell.
I think he will go. I mean, our cap situation ain't that much better, Tom.
It's workable though compared to that because
I mean,
they
the
have a
Saints
lot
are
to do
like
to even get
70
Green.
million over, to be fair. The Jets have 33 million. I mean, it's not a lot,
Yeah,
but the Jets have
it's
something. The
better than
Saints just, I mean, whatever.
uh, the red is an under for a cap. I think they're more than in the red. I don't know what's worse than in the red, but that might be where the Saints is. So it's something. It's like we said, same with Speck is joke. I just think maybe you might are putting the cart before the horse on hating on Aaron Glenn there, but at least you laid it out respectfully
Yeah,
there, which
Tom,
compared to other
can
spaces
I,
saying that, I
Tom, can
appreciate
I
it.
piggyback off of your point real quick? That's my fear
Absolutely, Petey.
With Jet fans. Everybody's gonna want to jump ship in year one if it starts off bad, and to me, this guy's gonna have no chance here. It's gonna be the same shit. Fire the coach. I don't want to go through that again.
P
this is why
P A
Oh
P. But,
God, man.
but P, isn't hiring a first time GM and a first time head coach doing the exact same thing that you just did?
Yes.
Okay,
No,
so once again,
and I'll say it like this: Washington hired a first-time GM, and you see last night they just got their first playoff win in over 20 years.
right, but they have a
But
veteran coach.
their coach was a
Okay,
Super
they
Bowl
got a
coach.
veteran coach. Okay, well, go find your veteran coach, get your new GM, build your team, and go to war. You got a
This
Josh Allen to go to war with, so you need to make your pieces able to beat Josh Allen. You
all right. I
start
got
there before you work the whole AFC. If you can't beat Josh Allen, you don't need to worry about nobody else.
Yo, can I
Until
choose?
you can dominate Josh Allen, Tua, and goddamn New Vrabel, the nigga who fucked you over,
Can I
you
choose
don't need
violence
to worry
for
about
2 seconds?
nobody else.
Yes, choose violence, brother, please.
All right, so I know Le'Shawn's having a great morning, well deserved, and he has
uh
Man,
oh.
fuck him.
he has a photographic memory of all the dumb shit that I say But if you guys have not had a chance to look at the bulletin board comment that someone retweeted about the Josh Allen pick, I saved that for the files, Lee Sean. That was a good one, man.
I'm sitting here eating breakfast right now. Are you want me to take a mic, sir?
You're always welcome, man. But you wanted Mr. Josh Rosen over Josh Allen. I wish you got your wish. I really do, man.
Yeah, I'm glad I got one of the best GMs in the league. Don't listen to me. Listen to the man making
That's
five
Yo,
I
figures
just
a
know
year.
I
somebody,
know you have a photographic memory of my dumb shit. I just took joy when I read that one,
man,
man.
they dug that shit up on you, bro. Damn.
You should
Yeah,
feel
they they,
flattered.
they got they got to find something.
Nah, that's true. That's true. That's
Hey, Lee Shaw. Lee Shaw.
You know,
Yeah, we got that dub yesterday too, nigga. You wasn't the only one that got the dub.
Oh, here we go with
yeah,
this.
some dubs look prettier than others,
I
Oh
but a
mean,
dub,
I
shit!
but a
mean, you
dub is a
right, you
dub though.
right, you right.
But a
Some
dub is a
people
dub,
play,
so he good.
some people play scrubs. Some people do play absolute
Oh
scrubs.
shit! Lisa.
All
You
right, can
no,
we?
I'm with him.
Yo,
No, 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 no.
I'm
I'm with
chilling
him when
right
he
now.
right.
Don't poke the
yeah.
bear.
You're
I'm
gonna
chilling.
mess up his
He
breakfast.
said,
I don't
"Don't
want to
poke
hear
Don't
the
the
poke
bear."
the
angry
bear.
bear.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to piss him off before he get his morning coffee and orange juice.
All right, we're gonna get to the games, I'm sure, and I want to get to
Oh
Vino
shit!
too. I want to say two other things about this. One is that with the Vrabel hiring, you also have the shot if you're the Jets. I didn't mention this in the whole monologue. You had the shot with the Jets to also hurt another team in your division because we all knew that the Patriots wanted Vrabel so much so that they hired him. So in hiring Vrabel, you had a chance to hurt New England. And the second part is in terms of getting the young hotness, because I heard what Jokes was saying earlier, and taking a chance, and taking a shot. I don't want to jump from the frying pan into the fire, and I don't want to watch a first time head coach struggle with things like time management
Yes.
and managing. The job is too big for them, and they were a great coordinator, but we've been through that already. So I'd rather find look at what Washington just did, man. They have Dan Quinn learn from his mistakes, and now they hit on quarterback, and they're making it work. Um, I'd rather. I think the Jets need stability, and again, we cannot discount the Woody Johnson effect. That's the whole reason why I thought that Vrabel and even Mike Tomlin, why having a proven guy in that chair insulates you from
But Aaron Glenn doesn't
a
satiate that.
capricious owner.
Mark, can I ask you a
Well,
question?
that's
You
why
not
you need a
expecting it,
GM. Oh, sorry, go
Mark?
ahead, T.
No. I was just gonna say, well, with Todd Bowles losing last night, how you feel about Todd?
What you mean?
That game.
He's been here
I
already.
don't judge coaches on that game. Could have went either
Okay,
way.
yeah, right.
Baker
So
Mayfield has
Mark, that
been
was that was the point of my question.
yeah.
Since Todd and Rex have both been there, who would you rather want back?
If I
Neither
had to
one
choose
of them.
between those two,
Yes.
I wouldn't touch Rex
Balls
with a
right
10
now.
foot
I would
pole,
take
man.
Bowles because Rex Ryan's been out of the league so long.
Yeah,
Because
me
again,
too.
it's not
Exactly.
just the coach; they need to develop, they need a staff.
Thank you, Mark.
And
I appreciate. You know what, Mark? The only one. Mark going through hell and high water right now. The only one with a clear mind. Hallelujah. You
it
know
hurts,
what?
T.
Hey,
Watching this when you love football and you got to watch this team, it's whatever. I brought it on myself.
no,
Honestly, I'm living out here. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry that my pick for y'all didn't happen. I really thought it was a done deal. I did. I did. I thought Vrabel was a Jet.
Bro, are you kidding me?
That's
I
what.
thought I
No,
Remember,
thought we
I
had a
no,
mean,
shot. I'll admit that.
no way.
I'm gonna be honest with you, June. That's all I've been saying since I knew y'all was eliminated from the wild card. I mean, from playoff contention in week 13. No offense, but like what I'm saying, y'all my niggas.
Such an
But
All
asshole.
right,
I've been saying that since week 13. I wanted you to get Vrabel.
I
Bro,
know. All right, so
Let's get to
Vino,
Vino.
he's been waiting patiently. Go
What's
ahead,
going
What's
Vino.
up,
on,
V?
y'all? Good
No.
morning. Good morning.
What's
what
up,
up,
V?
V?
Not much. A few things I wanted to touch on. First off, I heard Joke say something about Chad O'Shea's OC. That is completely false. We're probably gonna bring either him or Wes Welker, wide receivers coach. That's what we're looking at right now. Our OC candidates are looking like Nick Caley, Josh McDaniels, and a couple other guys that Vrabel's worked with in his tenure. So that's that. And to touch on the Rooney Rule, I'm about to say Mark and June. We've already kind of talked about it a bit. I really just don't believe in the Rooney Rule. I understand what the point of it is, but I mean, like in this league, if you can coach, you can coach. I mean, and the only way that we can really change the whole racial issue part of it is just these older owners just gonna have to, pass on, and then we're just gonna have to wait for new leadership, man. Because that's just what it is. You just need newer minds to really make those decisions. Because no disrespect, but like with you guys, you have your guys' kids making decisions off of Madden ratings like that. That
Well,
just
Literally,
hold on
literally.
though,
Look,
Vito.
look,
Wait,
look,
wait, wait,
look,
wait,
look.
no, no,
We
no,
look.
no.
I'm not.
TTT. Let me comment on this.
Nah, you
To
can go
be
ahead, B.
fair, though, the Jets have gone above and beyond on the Rooney Rule. The Jets have hired coaches. We've had Herman Edwards, Todd Bowles, Robert Sala. The Jets shouldn't even be in the Rooney Rule conversation because, to me, the Jets are a very fair organization. So
But I
Woody
mean,
Johnson
I
has
do.
been very good
I
with
will
that.
say that. I will say that about the Jets. I never. I thought the racist team in New York was the Giants. I didn't think it was the Jets. And I honestly think y'all do very well with your hiring process, with your coordinators. You try to look for the best scout. You know what I'm saying? Y'all try and do y'all best. I feel like, I ain't gonna lie, I hate to say it like this, but the black candidate you've been wanting just ain't been available. I'm gonna just be honest. He
but
ain't been available.
But to the other point of the Rooney Rule, though, there's nothing said though for these teams like the Texans and the Dolphins that literally hire these minority coaches with the intent on losing to just sit up here and grab more draft capital for the future. Because if you remember, the Texans ended up grabbing David Culley. They get 2 third-round picks for him, and then after that, they end up drafting Tank Dell with one of those picks. Which I
Mm.
mean, so, like I said, I mean, everybody has their own way to go ahead and manipulate it. And what they did to David Culley, that man's never going to get another head coaching job
Nope,
again.
nope, and neither will Mayo. I don't think.
Mm. But I mean, Mayo, I'm sorry, bro. Mayo wasn't qualified. You don't deserve a head coaching job off of a vision trip to Israel, in my opinion. That's just what it is. Like, I don't know what kind of premonition or that so Raven trip that he had, but I mean, it just wasn't it. The man, like I told you, the man was out here playing cards after blowout. I mean, he was telling the media that we're benching people, and next thing you know, those guys are
He was a
starting.
clown.
I mean, I don't want to say that he's a clown because he does mean well. He is a player's coach. I mean, some of the players did love him, but as far as coordinating game plans and whatnot, he just was not ready for that. That was a moment that was just too big for him. And like us as Patriots fans, like we saw it week in and week out. I understand how the optics look to everybody else who doesn't watch Patriot football week in and week out. It looks terrible. It looks like you just hired a guy and just shitted on him. I completely understand how it
Vino,
looks.
your season was over when y'all released or traded Arabia's baby daddy. That's when your season was
Yeah,
over. It was over at that
in
moment.
fairness, and it's not to say what the feelings are on Mayo, positive or negative. The the cap room that you guys had going into the season and the lack of execution to build, you had the worst roster in football. Like,
I mean, but Buckeye, if you look at what we did, though, we went out and attempted to get Brandon Ayuk. We offered the most money for Calvin Ridley. He just didn't choose to go here. It's not like we didn't attempt to do anything. We offered Brandon Ayuk 34 million per year.
but
I mean, and he
I
just said
hear you,
no.
but in fairness, Mayo attempted to win. Like, so attempts are attempts, but he was served up the worst roster in football. And Bobby, I definitely want to hear you talk. I know you were very vocal about whiffing in the offseason and being furious with the offseason. I just don't think he was ever given an attempt to. No one was going to win. No one was going to win with that roster. And by the way, he took over a team from the best head coach arguably ever who had a top 3 pick. It was a horrendous roster, and I just don't think anything was going to happen positive.
Buckeye, and I want to get to Bobby. Buckeye, if New England rebuilds faster than the effing
They have a
Jets,
quarterback, Mark.
Not just that, we're about to have 140 million in cap space after we make a few cuts this year, bro. Like we're already at 138
140.
million for next year.
it's like running a race and getting lapped. Like this shit is embarrassing.
Because Mark, I'm
I'm
gonna tell you
embarrassed.
right now, we're gonna offer T Higgins 32 million just to come here, just to make sure we don't get outbid. His market should be around 24, but we're gonna overpay just to make sure that we can get Drake May, his actual real receiver. I already know
It
what's gonna
was
happen
brought
with
up.
that,
Beating the Patriots that final game of the season made a lot of this happen.
and we
I,
appreciate y'all.
I said it. Why win a meaningless game and put them in
There
better
was no
position?
Drake May. That wasn't going to happen. So like a lot of that was served up with that meaningless win.
And I mean, on the Vrabel hire, I mean, I already sent a post to June. There's already players from his Tennessee teams that he had that have already like the idea of coming to New England and playing for
Yep.
Vrabel. Jeffrey Simmons is one of those
Simmons.
guys.
Can't
That
wait to
shit
get into
I
crazy.
know he's
this.
got his offensive line coach all pegged.
Yeah,
We were keeping him warm this year for you.
yeah, nah, but Jeffrey Simmons is already like post saying that he wants to come to New England. Like if we're able to go ahead and pull Jeffrey Simmons, and from what I've been seeing from our draft people, it looks like we're going to be attempting to grab Abdul Carter at 4. So if
Oh,
So
wow.
hold on.
so,
Simmons is a free agent.
no, he wants out.
No, he's not.
He's gonna want out. He's already liking a lot of posts right
Yeah,
now trying to
that's
get
there's
out of
only so much
Tennessee.
control that stuff can
Oh
have.
no, there's only so much he has there. I understand. Unless he wants to sit up here and pull some James Harden shit where he doesn't play, then that's a whole different thing. But I mean, they're
Yeah.
already talking going edge at 4 because the second most important position in football is going after the quarterback. We have the quarterback now. You have to get the guy who chases the quarterback. So we're really trying to build it like the Texans did. They grabbed Stingley, then after that they grabbed Stroud and Will Anderson in the same draft. We got Gonzo, Drake May, and then it just makes sense to go ahead and grab Abdul Carter right there.
You guys need no line.
I agree with you, but I mean, there's a lot that you can make happen with 140 million, brother.
140
Yeah.
million, bro.
But no,
Yeah, it's that O line. It needs a lot of work, man.
Oh no,
That to me is the where you need
I agree,
all that
Buckeye.
work.
But I mean, also we did lose our starting center after week 5 as well. So I mean, like we already have one guard in our center spot solidified. You then go ahead and just reset the market at guard at Trey Smith. You can really get a mid-tier left tackle at Cam Robinson, and it's already an upgrade from what I had last year. Like, like
yep.
anything is an upgrade from what I had last year. All you have to do is literally just spend a little bit of money. We had the worst tackle duo in football last year. Demontre Jacobs was ranked the worst tackle in football, and Vidarian Lowe is ranked 70 out of 78. It can't get worse. It literally can't get worse.
Meanwhile, breaking news: the Jets just offered they just interviewed Ronald McDonald in the effing Burger King for the role of GM. So
only if he,
Wow.
only if he's bringing Grimace as his OC. Do I want it?
Yeah, well, Grimace is part of the Mets, so I don't want to chase Mark out of here. Let's go Mets.
Oh,
Who stole Juan Soto from the Yankees? Let's
and you
go.
don't have nobody to
Uh,
protect him. All right.
yeah, all right. Anyway, before I get to Bob, just one quick second, guys. Again, it's 9 o'clock almost on the East Coast. Thank you all for achieving our goal with Mark. It's really appreciated, and I can't thank the space enough. There's people that message me every day and reach out, and I had somebody tell me we hit the goal like that I haven't spoken to a while. That's amazing when somebody said we hit the goal.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
that's what's powerful
yeah.
here. Like you know what I'm saying? So shout out to the people on the space, everybody that contributed, retweeted, liked, shared, spoke, messaged, everybody, every single person. Thank you, Bob. Good morning, my brother. What's up?
What's up, guys? Good morning. Mark, I'm so happy we met the goal. That's amazing. I know I may not be a Jets fan, but I do support you and I'm here with you, brother, no matter what and always. Um, before um I go into this, yesterday, I think we could all agree that Vrabel going to New England was literally, it's not if it was going to happen, it's when. And I didn't think they would announce it yesterday. I thought what they would do is wait for the games to be played. And then this morning, we wake up to the news that Vrabel got hired. Obviously, got done quicker. They agreed to a multi-year agreement. I know it was announced on Saturday that it was getting done, so it looks like what happened is uh, all day Saturday, they finally came to an agreement, and he's back. He's coming in as head coach. I love the hire. It's perfect. It's the perfect spot. He's the coach that I think can help this Patriots team be held accountable. He'll get rid of the mental mistakes, the lack of um, being prepared. I felt like this Patriots team, one thing that we've always been with Belichick is prepared for literally plan A, B, and C of what the other team is going to do to us. We always had a plan. This year it was not. They were going in like deer in headlights every game. I've never felt comfortable with them in any game they played. The offensive line, absolutely putrid, disgusting. Vidarian Lowe has no way, has no business being a left tackle starting for an NFL franchise. 17 games. I'm sorry, it's just not consistent enough. Jacobs, I don't even know his first name. He only did the best he could, wasn't very good. Um, the Patriots this year have a chance right now to, wipe their hands of the last few years of being just a bad football team and just a bad franchise with the dysfunction all around.
Can you
Mike,
do me one favor, Bobby?
what's up?
Stay away from Brian Hartline at all costs. You don't want him.
I listen, for me, I'm going to tell you guys, you might call me crazy. I have no
Take him,
problem
Bobby.
with what's
Take him.
up.
You don't want Brian
Take him.
Hartline. He's going to come into the organization and ruin it. Just leave
Any
him at
way we can
Ohio
make Ohio
State where
State
he
weaker,
is.
take him.
Yeah, don't touch Brian Hartline,
No,
Bobby.
no, 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 no. I honestly, that guy wasn't even a thought in my mind to be added to this coaching staff. I want to bring for wide receiver coach. I want Wes Welker in there. I think that's,
Mm.
I think that's going to be a foregone conclusion. If it doesn't happen, I'll be
I think that's
shocked.
a great idea.
He's the guy who obviously you guys know Wes Welker, one of the best. Not to go off topic, but to me, I think Edelman is better than Welker. But that's just me.
Nah, Jeff fans don't know about Wes Welker.
Shit.
Um,
Nah.
But the thing is that I think bringing him in would be smart. For offensive coordinator, I have no problem bringing back Josh McDaniels. I mean, that guy, look what he did with Mac Jones for
Tebow
crying aloud. For crying,
and Tebow.
yeah, exactly. So I'm fine with that. I just want a guy who's going to help elevate Drake May. That's what I want. I want a guy
Mhm.
who's. Here's the plan for Vrabel. Vrabel's going to come in there, literally talk to these guys and literally basically give it to them straight. The bullshit that you guys did last year and 2 years prior is gone. This is brand new. They're going to restore the franchise. He's the guy to do it. Look, would it be nice to have Ben Johnson? Yes, I said this from day one. You're firing a first year head coach. I highly doubt Robert Kraft is going to hire another first year head coach. He wanted a guy in there who was going to help get the Patriots back. First off, I got ripped. Somebody said yesterday, I said, get us back to the playoffs. Oh, you got to look at Super Bowls one step at a time. He's got to build this culture back up, get us to the playoffs, and then once we get to the playoffs, get us to the Super Bowl. That's the only thing you got to focus on now. He has all the tools literally at his disposal right now. A quarterback of the future that is honestly, in my opinion, I think with better coaching and more talent, he could be one of the best quarterbacks in football down the road. 130 million in cap space. Yes, they will go higher than that, and they will be aggressive to add talent. He's also bringing a guy from Tennessee, Ryan Cowden. He was with the Giants last year. He's going to have a personnel role, so they'll work together with that. The top 5 pick, the 4th overall pick, and before someone said about getting Abdul Carter. Yes, I was somebody who was on the Travis Hunter train, the Kelvin Banks train, which I am. But you have a chance to get a guy like Abdul Carter, who to me is basically Micah Parsons 2.0. You go and get him. The Patriots last year could not rush the quarterback since they traded Matthew Judon. The defense, literally, there was no pass rush. They couldn't even scheme up pass rush blitzes because it just didn't work. It's just horrible. You need a guy to get after the quarterback. That guy gets after the quarterback every time he rushes. He gets to the backfield. If he's not getting a sack, he's getting a pressure. He's around the ball. I love what I see. But I think that Mike Vrabel coming in here, he will attract free agents. I really do believe that. I think Drake May, his play with a abysmal supporting cast, and what he was able to do is going to be something that free agents be like, wow, I want to play with this guy. And to bring that up, do I think players from the Titans who play with Vrabel will want to come over and play with them? Yes, I do. The Jeffrey Simmons one, I think that's going to be tough. I would love to see it. Yeah, he liked the tweet this morning. I get it. But you got to see what happens in Tennessee. They fired the GM. Let's see what happens. Maybe that GM wants to, clear some cap. That, I mean, if he trades Jeffrey Simmons, that's foolish. But I just think I'm very excited about the Patriots offseason. I think he's the right guy to do it. I said before about Gerard Mayo. Look, I get it. He was not given a chance to succeed. He was given a shitty roster. They had the draft capital. I think the Elliott Wolf with his draft, other than Drake May this year, it just didn't work out. I questioned some of his picks, but that's me. His free agent class, yes, he attempted to get Brandon Ayuk, yes, but he backed out and then also said, "Oh, I'm excited about this young wide receiver core." Really? Look what happened with that young wide receiver core. Nothing. He did attempt to get Calvin Ridley. That's not on him. Calvin Ridley just didn't want to come to us. It is what it is. Um, down.
Better off
Yeah,
didn't get
yeah,
Ridley,
I
Doc.
agree, 100%.
Calvin Ridley was a bad free. I wanted Ridley
He,
here too. I'll admit I was
I
wrong.
just, you know what? It just didn't work out. That's okay. Um, and you know what? Um, I just think that the Patriots now with Mike Vrabel at the helm are going to be in a much better position. And Gerard Mayo, after a loss and you're going back to the plane and you're not watching tape and seeing what you could do better, and the owner is on that plane, by the way, watching your every move, literally in your first year, and you're going back to the plane and playing whatever the hell they were playing with, playing cards with the players. Now, to me, like honestly, even the players when you're in the back, you just lost. Like I get it, the season was lost, but what are you playing cards for on the plane? I get it's a long ride from Arizona back to Boston, but come on, like it's just he wasn't ready. That was a big mistake by Robert Kraft. I applaud him for deciding to move on and go in a different direction. I think Mike Vrabel's hiring is a year or two late. I think it was long overdue. It should have happened last year when he was available. But the reason they couldn't do that is because they would have had to buy out Gerard Mayo's contract, which would have cost Robert Kraft more money. So that's the reason. So another wasted year, but they right the wrong. The first step of business is hiring a guy who could help change the culture, and that is Mike Vrabel. I'm excited for it. Looking forward to it.
Hey, Bob, I got a question for you. What is Vrabel's contract?
Um, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a 5-year deal. It's a multi.
No, no,
It's multi-year, so usually that's around 4 or 5 years for head
no,
coaches.
no, no, no. I mean, like, how much money per
That wasn't
year?
announced yet, but I know
Okay,
he did want a lot. Some people said 15, 20 mil a year. I don't think he got that. I'm gonna
I think it's 15. I would guess
I'm
it's
gonna take
15.
an estimate. It's gonna be 13.5 mil a year. That's my estimate.
Okay,
Same. I'll say it's that at
I'll
least.
say it's 15.
I don't think Ben Johnson's going to get 15
Ben
million.
Johnson might not even leave Detroit. It's that's another thing you have to wonder too with Ben Johnson is not to get off topic away from Vrabel, but with Ben Johnson, yeah, the Raiders are literally going all out to try to bring him in, but you never know. The way he's conducting these interviews is why would he leave Detroit where he's just he's got it made. He's got a great, amazing talent around him. They're a phenomenal team, up and coming. They're not going anywhere anytime soon. And you know what? With Vegas, they don't even have a quarterback right now, and they're going to be
Nope.
eighth overall. If they had a top three pick, I think if he didn't take that job, he would be foolish because he could build it. Yes, they have cap space, not that much, but they will be able to do some things. I just think, in my opinion, I think Ben Johnson stays one more year.
Let's go from the Patriots to the Bills with Chris.
Crazy segue.
Good morning, Jets Commute. Unfortunately, Do me a favor, because I do have a kind of a special message for Mark, because I know exact to a certain extent.
Mark left.
Yeah, I know. I do understand a little bit of what he's going through because I've kind of been in a similar situation. She is now 62 and thriving. So, in absentia, uh, prayers go out, well wishes for a long, happy, productive life for his daughter. Um, Also, prayers go out to his family, first and foremost. And, to all the communities, Jet communities, social media, content creators, what have you. It's nice to see y'all band together to help people out in a tough time. Petey, good morning. Uh,
What's up?
Chilling, brother. How was your weekend, first and foremost? Hope the
Finally
family is
feeling
well.
better, bro.
That's good. You
I
sound
actually
like it.
took the little guy to the Y yesterday the 8-year-old to shoot some hoops. So,
There you go. That's what's up.
yep. And then it's funny when you give the little motivation to bend the knees, how much power they get from shooting, man. You already know.
You know, the I guess the legs being 75% of your shot. But I know you guys got a lot to take care of, so I'm gonna get up out of here real fast. I think somebody owes me a phone call though, right? And I want you to make sure your man, what's up, Buckeye? I need you on that phone call. Peter, you could join in if you want to. And one more thing on the way out for my brother Bobby. I'm not sure if you're gonna be flipping back and forth tonight because it is Monday night. Uh, but I see you on the horizon. You're gonna have a very interesting off season.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy that. I'm out, y'all.
Yeah. Uh, Definitely excited. You know, the Patriots are going to introduce Mike Vrabel at 12 o'clock today. Did that really quick too. Wasn't expecting that.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy. That's fast.
when they hired Gerard Mayo, they waited till Thursday of the next week to announce him, to introduce him. And everybody's excited about this. I can tell you Patriots fans, there's some that really are upset that it wasn't Ben Johnson, but basically 95%, including myself, are all aboard the Mike Vrabel train. I've been on this train since last year, since Belichick and the team parted ways. The offseason this time around, I know for a fact is going to be different. I know they're going to take a step in the right direction. No disrespect to Gerard Mayo. He just wasn't ready. And, wish him well, whatever happens down the road. He was still a great player for us. See what happens. Wouldn't surprise me down the road. He joins a coaching staff, maybe him and Belichick mend the fences, and he joins that coaching staff in some capacity in UNC. But the Patriots, Mike Vrabel's going to bring in the best guys. He knows what he has a quarterback of the future. He's going to get a guy in there that's going to help Drake May grow every year. And I'm very excited about the defense because I think we could all agree the Patriots defense, which was supposed to be a strength, became a weakness because we had a guy promoted to defensive coordinator who's never called plays and didn't know what he was doing. So I'm excited to see what happens. Even if Rabel wants to call plays on defense, totally fine with it. Once you get, add some. To me, guys, with the Patriots adding in free agency, one guy I do want them to add, they need a second corner. I think you all know where I'm going with this. I
DJ
want
Reed.
DJ Reed. I think him with Gonzalez locking up the number one receiver on one side, the other side having DJ Reed. I think that would be huge. I think that would be something that would intrigue Mike Vrabel. I also think the Patriots getting a pass rusher is literally one of the top needs. Abdul Carter, I'm on that train. We get him. I'm really excited. And definitely getting taught by Mike Vrabel, who literally for his whole career was a linebacker, phenomenal player. Not only did he score touchdowns by forced fumbles and interceptions, but catching them in the Super Bowl. And he had 12 catches in his career, guys, 12 touchdowns. I think he just brings that aura. Um, and Obviously, offensive line and wide receiver. A guy I really think the Patriots, other than Cam Robinson for offensive tackle, for right tackle, I would take a stab at Jedrick Wills, especially since Mike Vrabel was with the Browns last year, so he got a full look at him. So why not take a flyer, bring him in? He's young. He's only 26 years old, I believe. And then at wide receiver, you got to take a swing at two guys. I think they have to take a swing at. Obviously, T. Higgins, and the other one is Chris Godwin. I think I've been very high on Godwin. He's a phenomenal player. Tampa loves him, but I feel like Jalen McMillan kind of took his. Godwin was hurt all year, but
He can't stay healthy, Bobby.
I understand. But Godwin is the guy I think could help Drake May in a way. He's a guy who gets open consistently. You need guys in this league that could get open. The Patriots don't have that right now. So I just think that, giving him a 2-year deal. First you got to see how that injury is. If it's lingering, then not. If he's fully healthy and he gets cleared 100%, he's ready to
Yeah,
come.
but Bob, can I just jump in? To be fair, I don't think Godwin changes the complex of the offense. I do believe T. Higgins would be a
Well,
major upgrade.
well, yeah,
I don't think Godwin he's more of a possession guy
I get it. Yeah, I just I want to.
now at this point, especially after the injury.
Yeah, I look at it as you need to get T. Higgins. He's the guy who's gonna command the most attention from defenses. They could focus on him and open up for other players, Hunter Henry, Pop Douglas, and for somebody like Chris Godwin, he doesn't have to be the focal point. He could just be a part of it. And he's a guy on third down you can rely on. And it all depends on his health. I agree with that 100%. If he's healthy, I would take a flyer on him. I really like him. I don't know if Tampa's going to bring him back, especially with how good Jalen McMillan has been playing for them. He's been phenomenal. Um, so we'll have to see what happens. But for me, I think that that's their free agent wish list. I could see them being aggressive. Well, they're going to have to be extremely aggressive. I think they'll be smart with it as well. But I also think they could be smart in the draft too. I think that maybe you could see them they make their pick and then they try to trade up at the end of the first round to try to get somebody. So I'm excited. I really am.
There's a specific pass rusher named Hassan Reddick you guys can go after.
No, keep that guy away from me. I'm good.
Chris, God.
Before I wish y'all a good day, June, you owe me a call. I want my flowers. I need you to toss them up in the air as I walk through like Caesar. I'm giving you 24 hours, big. I took the high road. Buckeye, you can help him because I heard you too. Listen, seriously, look, y'all have a good day. I can't wait, Jude. Bring. I need my call within 24, bro. Otherwise, I'm gonna do it in public.
We went from the Buffalo Hunter to the Buffalo Converter.
Yo, look, let me pull the curtain back. These dudes, they was on me. Yo, they had me surrounded like parentheses with about what? What was that? 4 or 5 minutes in the first quarter.
Did you hear how happy Le'Shawn was this morning? That shit pissed me off. I don't want him
Mm,
happy, bro.
mm,
At all. Not at
Yeah.
all.
Whittle,
mm.
I see you. I don't want you happy either,
I
man.
was all types of dirty names on that call. Mm. I need a phone call, brother. Listen, y'all have a good day.
He's such a fucking asshole.
Great Bills and Patriots face, Petey.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Oh, get back to the lonely ass Jets.
Silence.
That's all right. This is why we got Doctor Doom and
I'm
Gloom.
here.
Tell him again,
I
Jay.
do.
Jarek's gonna sell our ass on
I
Milrow.
do want
This is
to.
why we get
I do
why
want to ask.
4-4 runner, strong arm,
I do
deep
want to
ball
ask
placement.
who the Jets, who everyone thinks the Jets should hire at this point for their head coach.
Oh, you're gonna get a lot of different
I
answers on
know.
that,
That's why I
Bobby.
want to know.
I want the Jets to hire June.
I would love it.
I think
I would love it.
it should be Matt. I would go with Matt Nagy, but they're probably gonna go
Thank
with
you.
Aaron Glenn.
Thank you. Thank you.
I think it's either going to be Nagy or Glenn, Bobby.
Yeah, I think Aaron Glenn seems to be a name to keep an eye on. Either I think it's going to be between the Saints and the Jets. I think that's what it's always been for him. Matt Nagy wouldn't be a bad hire for you guys. You know, him getting a second chance. I mean, the guy took Mitch Trubisky to the playoffs for crying out loud.
Yes, yes.
You
For
know what? I
for.
think it's going to be Joe Brady. That's who I think it's going to be.
Come on, come on, come on.
Wouldn't surprise me
Yeah,
if you guys
I wouldn't mind
wouldn't
Brady.
surprise me if you guys put in a request to interview Kingsbury this week.
He
I
already
don't think
said
he's
no.
gonna.
Oh, he
Yeah,
He
said
he's
no
not
said
gonna
no.
already?
do it.
Mm-hmm. Look,
I did not know that.
if I would love, even if it's not Nagy, I could I would love to have Flores because you need somebody with that type of mindset to change the culture.
With you, June.
For real. Have to.
Yep, I would love Flores.
He'll get that defense back on track.
Yes.
Pete, you're going to
Look,
let June do the tear it down, chewing breakfast shit this morning?
yes.
That's what you're going to let this happen, bro? Like half chewing, tear it down? And Jarek's going to be like,
Thank you.
amen, amen?
Look, while we tearing it down, I'm eating, watching the
What am
foundation
I
get
gonna
knocked
do,
down.
Buckeye? He helps every day. I mean, he's gonna.
You
There's
guys have
gonna be.
not figured out that Jarek offers the worst advice to the Jets organization,
What?
but he
What? Wait.
puts it
Wait.
in,
Wait a minute.
he
Wait.
puts an
Hold on. What?
Yes,
intelligent
my
What?
right
twist
What?
on
hand
it.
man.
He puts intelligent twists on it and has us all
What?
fooled. Like
What?
Jarek
What?
is doing
What
this
bad
shit
advice? Wait.
purposely,
Wait. Wait a
bro.
minute, Buck. What bad advice have I given?
He shined up Milrow like he was amazing. He
Oh,
don't get me started on what he talked about the
okay. I mean, okay.
SEC.
He's
That's
a
He talks
fine.
about the
project.
SEC. The SEC. You saw
But
what
Oh,
the
but
hell
that's
that
college.
freaking conference is.
Okay, Buckeye, 14 national championships, 16 years. That's the best conference. Come on, man. Let me know when Ohio State. Let me know when the Big Ten can do that.
Sipping on history, bro. Sipping on
Let me
history.
know when the Big Ten can do that.
I'm
14
not a
out of
history
16 national
teacher.
championships,
Hey,
and
yo,
they.
good morning, good,
Oh gosh.
good morning. Tear it down. Um,
Tear it down. You
Tear, tear,
already
it-
know,
tear,
Gus.
tear this motherfucker down.
Hey Justin, you know what, man?
what's up?
I'm always nice to you, man. You're starting to tick me off a little bit.
Tear it
Oh,
down,
what
Justin.
what I do?
I just, like the little digs, like the
He,
little Stefan digs. You know what I
P,
mean?
P, Petey don't like tear it
He's
down,
not
Justin.
he's,
He don't
he's
like
not
tear
giving
it
digs,
down.
man. We're telling the truth.
Yeah. Well, whatever.
You can't be mad at the truth, Petey.
Yo, I have a feeling obviously if it's Glenn, we got to wait till freaking. This is going to be a long month to wait for Aaron Glenn. It's brutal, man. Just everything this team does, man. Oh
Seriously, did
gosh,
did we interview Joe Brady? Because that's who I want. Did we interview him?
I don't
No,
know yet.
no, no, no.
Has he interviewed anywhere?
I don't.
I'm not
I
sure.
don't think he's interviewed anywhere.
No.
who
Have,
No,
wants
have,
Aaron
he
Glenn?
said he's focusing on the playoffs, and then the first place he's going to interview is New Orleans.
Does it? Does any Jet fan want Aaron Glenn on this space?
I don't
I
see how
sure
New
as hell
Orleans is
don't.
better.
Yeah, I
No.
would.
I don't see how New Orleans is
What does
any
it?
better than we
What'd you
are.
say, Heck?
I
Does
mean,
any Jet fan want Aaron Glenn?
Yeah, I sure as hell
he
don't
was
want him.
I don't want him either.
he did coach at LSU, so I mean, it's not like he is
But
familiar with the
here's the
state.
thing, though. I think Jet fans aren't going to give Aaron Glenn a fair share. I don't. A fair chance here. I don't.
But Petey, does it matter? Like, does it matter? Fair chance?
Yeah.
Like, we give extended runways to mediocrity. That's what we do.
Yes, and that's what we did with Salah.
We've done
Yeah.
it with countless.
Yeah. The past 25 years has been a bunch of first time defensive coordinated head coaches, and it doesn't work. Why do it again?
I'll say this though, it is more to do with our organization. Everyone can rip Todd Bowles. I think he's done a terrific job in Tampa. You know, he's done great over there. So I'm
I
glad for him.
agree.
Look,
Jets.
yo,
How happy were you guys when you heard Rex Ryan was out almost immediately?
Oh, that came out?
yeah, it came out yesterday.
Oh, that's good. He never should have been in the room. whatever the opposite of the Rooney Rule of giving that guy an interview, that was crazy.
Yo, I quit.
Yeah,
You stupid.
that was ridiculous. Let him go coach Notre Dame.
What
Whoa,
I
watch yourself, brother. Watch
what I
yourself.
don't get is we knew we were going to need a coach and a GM. We had the jump start on everybody, and here we are interviewing 100,000 guys.
Yep.
I mean, Jimmy, when are you coming in tomorrow? You got the interview?
You know what? And when they called me, I told them to put Woody on the phone. I said I refuse to
I
interview.
turned it down, Jim.
I
I
turned
June,
it
turned
you're
it
down.
making
down.
me hungry, June.
I turned it
Well,
down.
well, well Liam,
Probably the whole space would turn down the jet
I
shot.
heard someone say earlier Liam Cohen said no, so I don't know if that's true or not. But he's now the playoffs are done, so he can interview.
But
Yes.
all right, yeah, but let's be real. He choked last night. They
No,
lost.
Baker
No.
Mayfield went
No.
bonkers, man. Baker
No.
Mayfield had a
Yeah.
great
Right.
Come
game.
on. You got to win that game at home.
Baker Mayfield fumbled. You can't you can't say that he choked.
Petey, look, look,
They be
look what
going
he's
back and
All right,
done
forth.
with
that's
Bucky
extreme.
Irving.
I'm
Look what he's
sorry.
done with Bucky Irving, Baker Mayfield. Like, no, man, he's done a nice job over there, man.
I
Yeah,
think you
but
acting
he's
like
done it
You acting
in
like
he
Bucky
did it.
Irving's a scrub.
Yeah,
He's a good
no,
player.
I'm not.
Well,
I
But
didn't draft Bucky Irving in
this is what
fantasy. Did you?
Buckeye, this is 1 year though. That's it. That's
Yeah,
why
no,
I'm not
no
high on
Baker's been doing his thing, man. You can make a case Baker's a top 7, 8 quarterback in this league right now.
That's a fact right
yeah,
now. Yes.
okay.
He's a gamer
Wait a
too. He
minute.
is a
Wait a
gamer.
minute. Wait a minute.
Uh oh. Uh
When
oh.
it comes to Baker Mayfield, he did not play. What happened was the backup center that went in screwed up the count and snapped the ball before anyone was ready for it.
Yep.
That's what happened in that play.
I thought Rusty was going to contest the top 7, 8. She's going at Petey's throat. That's what I like, Rusty.
I'm not going to anybody's throat. I'm just saying facts are facts, and that's what
You
happened.
could say it.
I
Petey's.
never
You could
mentioned
say it.
Everybody,
You
anything
could say
even
it.
the
Petey's wrong.
announcer said that.
about what am I wrong about
Well,
though?
you know.
That you got to win that game. Baker Mayfield like screwed that
They
game up.
have to win that
Hey
game. It's a
man,
home playoff game. You have to win it.
yeah,
Okay,
they
Petey,
Yes.
probably.
you can only control what you can
Right.
control.
Hmm.
I mean, I get what
Now, when
Petey's saying though.
you have your center was
Yep.
injured. They brought in some rookie center or a backup
Hmm.
center, and he screwed up. I mean, it just happened.
Okay.
That's but you can't blame Baker
I didn't
Mayfield
blame Baker.
for losing for
I will
fumbling the
blame the
ball. Yes,
defense and
you
defensive
did.
coordinator. Like you that's a rookie quarterback in the playoffs, bro. Like
He,
you
he,
need
he,
Mm.
to win
he,
that. You
he
need
was
to win
cutting
that.
them up, bro. He
Yeah,
was
like
carving them up.
yeah, like
There's
that's a
two
rookie
ways.
quarterback in the playoffs, bro.
And I'll say one other thing is that no matter how you want
Is she in the blender or no?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
it came down to a field goal that actually hit the goalpost and went
Yes.
in.
Yes.
So I mean, it was the best game of the
It definitely
playoffs
was.
this
Yes.
But
weekend.
listen,
Without
that's what we
there
as
was
fans
no
do. We
yeah.
only look at wins, losses. We don't look at like the context of those games, and we hang losses on coaches and quarterbacks. Like that.
Rogers, we
I
hung a
like
few of them.
Rodgers is still loading. You know, he's still waiting for 60%.
But he
But
gave the team the lead a couple of times, and the defense gave it up.
Hey,
See
Justin, I
you
got
guys.
that, bro.
See you heard that Stefan Dig there, right? Yo, that's my new
Woo!
thing. Stop throwing Stefan Diggs at me.
But
Woo.
I think what the Bucks did, I think it's coaching, bro. Because there's no way you should have more rushing attempts than passing attempts with Baker Mayfield the way he's been playing this season. I think he only had like
Well, a lot
18
of those rushing
passes.
attempts were his.
So
Mm-hmm.
it's just I don't know, man. Like I think the coaches and for the Bucks just weren't prepared, and you know it's a close game. I mean they still could have won, but shit happened. Um, but hey, man, I'm just here
Yeah,
for my brother June.
I
You
I
know,
thought
Jets
that
family. Go ahead, Mark. My bad.
This
I
is
thought the
nasty,
games were
man.
yeah, the games were awful this week besides last night. The Eagles game got interesting, but It's crazy too how they played the AFC first and now it's all NFC.
PD,
Anybody notice that?
I'll say this for me. Definitely Justin Herbert is a big question mark because the flowers that man has gotten of what he is, that's a guy I have a question mark on. And you could throw Jordan Love right on that pile.
Really?
Jordan Love had a
Jordan Love did
horrendous
not
game.
look good.
He was horrendous.
He did
And
not
if
look
you
good.
remember the second
Did
half of
Jalen
that
Hurts look
49ers
good though,
game,
Buckeye? Did Jalen Hurts look
I've
good
never been a
yesterday?
Hurts. I've never been a Hurts guy, but I'll tell you what, all the flowers and elevation of Justin Herbert, woof, like
Oof.
I'm telling you that guy's a big question mark to me.
Okay,
His team. I forget how many turnovers Trevor Lawrence had in that playoff game, but if your team is
Yeah,
turning the other
5.
team over 5 times, so 5-3, he's had 8 turnovers and lost 2 games.
Wait, so does Justin Herbert get Garrett Wilson 1,400 yards this season?
I mean,
All
anybody can
right,
get that guy 1,400. He's the
my
best. He's
bad.
the
I'll
goat.
shut up.
No,
He's the
no.
goat.
Everything.
He's the
You know
goat.
who else will? I'm going to be funny here and throw a dig at Whittle. Kyle Allen will get him 1,400 yards.
Wow. That's
That's gonna be a good heavyweight matchup. The Ravens and Bills. I'm sure there's a lot to
no, it
talk about
won't.
this week. No, that's a
Rusty,
terrific game.
Rusty, who's your Super Bowl pick right now?
oh, it's too soon. I have to wait until the division rounds
Hmm.
because you've got some people. I mean, look at the Commanders. They looked really good. And being in the playoff game did not seem to make one bit of difference to those guys, and a lot of them are rookies. So,
Yeah, I love Jaden Daniels' poise last night, man,
oh,
and the way he runs.
he's
He's
really,
he's awesome.
he
He's
absolutely is.
awesome.
He might be the best quarterback out of that draft.
Hey,
Petey.
hey,
uh,
Petey, did you like the way Matt Collins played yesterday?
Of course.
Hey, Petey, think about something. If the Jets would have lost those last 2 games last year against the Redskins and the Patriots, we could have had Jaden Daniel or Drake May. But no, you wanted to watch us win.
That's
There you
not
go,
because
Petey.
of me.
Lay in the bed
June,
that you
don't do
made, Pete.
June.
You made it for all of
Bro,
us.
screw the bed that I made, man. That shit's got hospital corners on it too. You want to get technical? All right, that shit is neat. All right. By the way, after they beat the Commanders, they got blown out by the Browns, if you recall.
Yeah, and then we went and we beat Patriots for no fucking reason.
But June,
I agree.
No, I
Come
agree,
on.
and June, you know how I feel about that.
Yeah, absolute 34 all day, Rusty. You already know. 34.
hopefully CB has a space this afternoon.
Ah, Pete, see? There you go starting.
No,
There
this
you go
isn't
starting.
towards you, June.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
good
it
with
is.
you. No, it ain't.
Ah,
I
yeah.
would tell you. No, I'm just because I'm gonna close soon. I gotta get.
Look,
I've been off the grind for a week.
Petey,
look,
you doing a Super Bowl box this year? Because I want in if you're doing one.
look. To all the listeners, right? Later on, chances are we'll be doing a space. CB will be doing a space. I need all the hardcore listeners to jump into this space and help me out because every day I get jumped in this space. PD returns, Buckeye returns, Jones returns, and I find myself outnumbered. So if any one of these the good listeners out there want to help me out, tune in later on,
I
please.
feel
What time does he start? What time does he start, June? About.
It's different
Usually
times, 2:30, 2:30,
2:30,
3 o'clock, something like that.
depends.
Okay.
Please
Yeah.
help me out.
I'll send
Help
you the
me out,
link,
Hank.
I feel
Hector.
Yeah. Please.
anyone who
Thank you.
constantly
Thank you, Petey.
compliments Jarek, I'm out on June. So you're out.
So, June, if you send
Yes,
a direct message to me to let me know that
I
you're out,
got you, Russ. You don't have to
I'll
worry about
do that.
nothing. Matter of fact, I'm gonna set up a group message. I'm sending out to the 34. I got it. I can't take this no more, man.
Yeah, you really do get beaten in that place.
Yeah, man. For no reason.
That
Telling me, we Joe Brady. I'm tired of CB.
well, Joe Brady's offense. this weekend was pretty good. Can't argue with that. But the question is, does he even want to come here?
Th- that's the big question. Number two
And
is
that's I think Nagy would be willing to come here.
yeah,
Whether
yeah,
it
and
would have been his first choice or not, I don't know. But he doesn't seem to be getting a whole lot of uh
options exactly.
yeah, so nobody seems to be wanting him anyway. So we might
Rusty,
be able to get
June
him.
June
And
has been advocating for Nagy, and every single
I know.
Chiefs fan is like, take him,
Yes.
take him, take him, take him, take him. Like
I
they
But
know.
wait,
want
no,
him
no, no,
out
no,
of there.
no, no,
Oh
no, no,
yes,
no, no,
yes.
no, 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 no. Tell the full story. They say we don't. They when I say we, that's them being chief, and they say we don't want him because his relationship with Mahomes, but we think he would be better with you.
I think it was
So that
Samini
is what they
pointed
say.
out though. Samini pointed out his best offense was 21st in the league.
Yes, but you got to look at who he had at quarterback.
Well, it's
That
not just
means
who you have at
everything. He had
quarterback, it's who you
Trubisky.
have on your offensive line. It's who you have receivers and tight ends and running backs. You gotta have
Right.
those you have to have those in order to win.
But isn't a little the premise that when you bring in, like, let's say Salah that we did on the defensive side, that you don't always have to go to the top of the draft for defensive talent, that you have a guy like that could develop mid-round talent into something more special.
It's not
So
just it's Buckeye, it's not just that you can develop players. You can develop players to the best of their talent ability, but that doesn't mean that if you don't pick the right guy in the draft, whether it's the first round or the seventh, you may not have anything to develop. They may be only able to get to a certain point, and that's not NFL ready, really. So you can't tell that. You can develop guys, and Solid developed a fair number of players that were defense, but nobody was able to develop
But if
offense.
but if I remember correctly with Nagy, those Bears teams were winning because of Khalil Mack and that defense. I don't
Yeah, they
remember.
were tough,
Yeah, that
man. They were a
defense
tough
was,
group.
yeah, it was
Bears
not their
have
offense.
always been a defensive
But
team, and they
but
relied on their defense. They were defense first, and we don't really care about the offense. Will get us over.
Yeah, let
That,
me get Bill in. Let me get Bill in here real quick. By the way, shout
yeah,
out to my man Beyond in here. I see Emerson. Hello,
what up,
Hexakim,
B?
Jim Hamill, Alex, Ground and Punt, Medic. What up? Eddie Limage. What up? Sad Jets. Neek. Go ahead, Bill. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, PD. How you doing? Good morning, June.
Good
What's
man.
going on, Bill?
Bill, who do you
Nothing, man.
want as the coach
Well,
now?
that's what I'm gonna talk about. I could talk myself into pretty much any of the combinations that are on our list, other than the Riveras, the Rexes. Obviously, that's what it's coming out. Rex is not even a serious candidate. But the one GM name that I will not accept is Grigson.
Hmm.
That guy got handed Andrew Luck with the first overall pick, and he did nothing else with that roster. He might have a winning record, but that was on the back of Andrew Luck, and he single handedly probably shortened Luck's career by never giving him an offensive line. He made some horrific trades later on. If you look at his record, I can't even believe what's coming out that he's a serious candidate for this job. And the
Who's
reason
that?
is
great.
Grigson.
Isn't he the guy? I'm just asking. Isn't he the guy that traded the Sam Darnold pick and took Nelson to us? Isn't
Uh,
wasn't he with Indy?
I know he made a bad trade for a running back. I can't think of it right now. He gave up multiple high round picks, and he never really built out that team outside of Luck. And the offensive line was terrible. And I just want nothing to do with the guy. And they're linking him because of Flores, which is, to me, you don't. Flores could still get hired with a different GM. I'm sure there's one of these GM candidates that they're interviewing would be okay with Flores as their head coach.
Well,
So that's the one guy.
what about Wes Phillips? Isn't he there too?
Westville is on the staff of the Vikings as a He's
Yeah, yeah.
he's the
They're
I
talking.
coordinator.
thought he
Yeah,
was
they're talking about
coordinator.
him coming here as would be the offensive coordinator here, Wes Phillips. No, is
The
What
that what
under
OC or
people are
the head
Moore?
saying?
coach? The head
No,
coach.
the OC. He would be
Oh,
an
I
OC.
thought
He is
Wasn't
I
he?
no,
thought
Isn't he already an
McCown is.
OC?
he is.
I'm not. Who is
He
Yes.
in
is
Minnesota?
in
It's him.
Minnesota.
Yeah, he
He's the
is.
offensive
He
So
coordinator.
then,
is.
You can't go from OC to
well,
OC.
so then they'll promote him as the assistant head coach.
Nah, I think
What
he'd be the
about
head coach,
McCown?
Petey.
But what about McCown as
Well, that's
OC?
true
Now
too.
McCowan I would take in a heartbeat
But why? Let me ask this. All right, here's a question. Why is everybody against Glenn, but now people would want McCown?
because I
They
don't
both
want a
because
defensive head coach. That's all.
that's fine.
It
But
has
Yes,
nothing to do with
and
Glenn
she's
didn't
standing on that
know.
hill.
It's just that
With
I want an offensive guy because we have had defensive guys for the last what God knows how many years.
20 years, 20, 25 years, ever since he took over the
And
team. It's just
it's
2 years.
usually like, okay, 2 or 3 years and done. And we start all over again. I want to go with an offensive guy because even if we strike out, at least we've tried to change what we do so we have a chance.
yeah, I mean that's fair. But to me, I know maybe the Jets do have to really change because they've always been a defensive team
I
growing
think
And,
the
up.
stronger
and
Rusty. I think the stronger argument for you is not so much just a change of pace. Because listen, we don't know about these OCs. I tell you, Ben Johnson, he gives me the willies, man. He just you don't know what kind of total coach they're gonna be, kind of leaders
nope,
they're gonna be. My thing is though, Rusty, the better argument for you is if they are good and they are successful as OCs, you're gonna lose them, right? They're gonna
right.
get hired.
One of my
That
biggest problems.
I think I think that's the bigger argument. You can't just label all defensive coaches candidates as incompetent.
June,
So
how many times I said I want an offensive head coach because if if we have a defensive coach, bring in an offensive coordinator, and if they're good, they're gone within 2 years or even a
you're
Mm-hmm.
right.
year, depending upon
Yep.
their past.
Yes, that I agree
And
with.
then we're going to have
That
a
I agree
rookie
with.
quarterback
Learn a whole
go
new
through
system.
all these different systems,
Mm-hmm.
and we're going to ruin them again. So
Mm-hmm.
that was my argument all along. I just simply said this about this particular thing because he asked, "Why don't I want
Yeah.
Glenn?"
You know, it is Rusty. I think all things being equal, if they do have two candidates that are neck and neck, I think we should go OC. I agree with you.
You gotta
But if
go
they have
OC.
but if they have one guy and he happens to be on the defensive side of the ball that they just love, they love his leadership, they love who he's going to bring in on his staff, way above the guy that's the OC, you can't do that. You got to take the best guy.
Yeah, but you
It's like
keep forgetting
it's like
that
drafting. You
we've
take the
gotten
best
the
player
best guy
available.
for the last few drafts, with the exception of Gase. I mean,
23
so
years.
we
23
we
years.
had Salah. He was like one of the most sought after guys.
Yep.
We got
Right.
Bowles, who was also really up there, and the
Yep.
same
Yep.
thing happens. So that's why I want an offensive guy this time.
Herm Edwards, same thing. Everybody is 23 years of the same shit. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
First time head coach, defense coordinator. 23 years.
I'm just saying, June, just if you don't reach because of what position they're coming from, you still have to take the best person you think that's going to lead this organization, and everything else will fall into place then.
But it doesn't.
That's because they never picked the right guy.
Well, I mean, they picked the guy that everybody thought would be good.
Everyone thought, but they weren't.
Yeah, well, how do we know that Aaron Glenn's going to be that guy? We don't. It's all a crapshoot.
Yeah.
No matter who you pick, it's like the draft.
Yeah.
You pick a guy because everybody thinks he's going to be fantastic. You like what you see, and then he comes in and he's a flop. So you can't tell.
But to your draft point, the most successful organizations are the ones who take the best player available. They don't reach for positions. They
I-
don't.
They take the
Those
best
are the
player available with what
right.
they're based on what position what they need. But you
Mm,
forget that
I
a
don't know.
lot of the teams that you're talking about are already winners. so they can afford to just take whoever they think might be a best player. We
Right, and that's
can't,
why they stay
because we need
winners.
to fill the roster with players
Oh,
that we need.
the guy that signed, Aaron brought it up. It was Trent Richardson. Didn't he go the
That's it.
Colts from the?
Yes.
He went from the
Okay.
Yep.
Colts. I mean, the Browns to the Colts.
Yep.
Good
Yep.
call, Aaron.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Yep. That was a horrible trade. Grigson would be a horrible, just a horrible hire. I I mean, I can't even believe that because three beat writers are having him to the Jets
Yeah.
when a
Hey, Bill,
Flores.
can I ask you something? Bill,
Yeah,
next going into next year, I know people are trying to tell me don't have expectations, and I just can't fathom that right now. No, June, that's not even towards you. I'm just saying
I
in
know that.
general.
I know that. I'm laughing because I
Bill,
know you
Bill,
feeling that.
what? You don't think we can be competitive next year and be one of these teams? I'm not saying go on a
No,
playoff run,
no,
but
No,
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 It's
no.
highly unlikely
no.
because we have so many. We don't have any cap space. Remember those teams that you're talking about who got those great, quarterbacks in the draft, with the exception of Denver, because they already had a really good defense and they had some good players. But we don't have that. I mean, we don't have any real draft cap. I mean, excuse me, we don't really have any cap space. I mean, we have some of the smallest amount, and we have five people on defense who are going to be free agents next year.
correct. But Rusty,
It's almost impossible to build a team in 1 year
well,
with the deficiencies that we
that
have right
yes, that's fair. But if you move on from Adams, that creates 30. So then you have 63 million. They have
now. No,
money.
no, because that's not being counted even.
What, the Adams money? Yeah, it
I don't
is. It's
think it is.
already on the books. Yeah, they have $30 million.
the
The
problem is,
Jets have.
TD, who do you replace Adams with?
That's why I don't want to get rid of him. But
Well,
Oh
I don't
my
want to. I don't.
God.
this is
He
who
would
I
stay.
replace him with. Hear
It
me
doesn't
out.
matter.
I want the
He would not stay.
T Mac. I want the guy from
Yeah,
Arizona,
Arizona.
the
Arizona.
receiver.
Yeah.
That's
I
who
have no
I would
problem
replace him with.
drafting. I think we should drive. I think we need a right tackle and we need a receiver and we need a tight end. This year, we really need to go draft
I-
some offense.
I'll say one thing though, as far as PD to answer your question that you asked me. Um, I this league, man, I'm watching the games this weekend. The quality and it's really mid. It's so
Yep.
mid.
Yep.
You to answer your question, I don't know, PD. Honestly, I don't. But I think with a really good coaching staff, I and well, the problem is you're not bringing back everyone, so it's going to be a whole different roster. So it's just hard to really
Correct.
answer that question. It's really hard to answer. So Joe, if we had the same roster this year with a really improved coaching staff, they would have contended for a playoff spot. There's no doubt in my mind they would have. This staff is the worst staff in the NFL. It's not even
Yeah.
close.
Bill,
Not
it's
even close.
disgraceful.
And this league is so mid now. Other than the teams with the all out of world quarterbacks, the Bills, the Ravens, and Kansas City. Other than that, all these teams they're very mid. They're very mid, and it'll be. But my point being is, it won't take much to get back into it. It really does. And if someone knows what they're doing, they bring a GM that knows what they're doing and a head coach. It shouldn't take this long. It's embarrassing enough we haven't made it in what 15 years. In this NFL today, it's really embarrassing. It's
N-
because the league's really not good.
n-
It's
Yeah, but
watered down.
saying, Bill, I'm not saying that it's going to take 3-4 years to
No, should
rebuild. I'm
not.
just
Yeah,
saying that next year would be that year, and I think that the following year, when we get our quarterback,
yeah.
um, we're
Well,
going to do
yeah,
much better.
yeah, Rusty. That could definitely be the approach of the new GM. Absolutely. They could.
Now, now, the to me, the most, the GM with the best resume to me would be Bragunski, right?
I
I
agree.
I
Well,
I,
I
I
I,
agree.
I
don't know.
I
I
think we could
still
all
think
agree on that.
Gaines would be good. I think Gaines from Buffalo would be good.
Oh.
He's had a lot of experience, and he has also been a GM, and his drafts were really good. The only
Who did
reason he ended up
he was
losing
GM?
the job
Yeah,
was
who?
because Bill O'Brien took over and decided that he had to be the guy who was going to go and draft the players too.
And he messed that up, Bill O'Brien.
Really,
Yeah,
Now
I don't know.
I
I
would.
like
I
the
said, look
KC guy.
what
I mean,
happened in
if
there.
you're just talking resumes, June 100%. I think Borgonzi stands above one. Dimitrioff. Let's face it, he built a team that went should have been a Super Bowl champion.
that's a fact. That's the facts. So you know what? I'm looking at Boganzi, I'm looking at Nagy, and then as OC, I'm looking at Doug Peterson. Now you got two former head coaches in your staff, and Boganzi he has done every single thing in that organization. So I mean he knows how everything is ran. So I would feel comfortable with those three.
And wasn't Nagy's defenses really good in Chicago? Like, who was his
Yeah,
coordinator in
it,
Chicago?
it was
Big
Vic
Fangio.
Fangio.
Yeah,
Fangio.
so he knows who to hire
Yes, yes,
for
yes,
DC. You
yes.
know, listen,
Because
it's not sexy, June, but I would be okay with what you just said.
and like Rusty said, it's an offensive mind, and now you don't have to worry about that. Number one, because I doubt Doug Peterson gets another head coaching job. Period. So I don't
Yeah.
think he's gonna go anywhere.
Listen, the
But
Jets got to sign O'Brien.
Uh-oh.
Bill
look,
O'Brien.
I would actually
He doesn't
like that
want to
too.
go.
I really would.
Want to leave Boston College.
But I don't think he's leaving. Kyle. I
He
don't
already
think
said.
at this time. I don't think he's. That's job security, man.
Oh man, I was baiting you, June.
Oh,
Ah, you bastard.
yeah.
think
Actually,
O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, if he was available, would not be a bad head coach.
No, he
Yeah,
Only
he
wouldn't
they
be.
would
don't.
not
June, so you have
at
no
all.
issues with the lack of what could be of what's the guy's name that you like, Nagy's leadership?
No, listen, he, he's one of the few coaches that are available right now that has a winning record.
But
He
that
coached the
that that to me
Bears.
is an overrated thing. Like just because he could have a winning record by one game, it doesn't really mean anything. Like to me, is like that's
Hear
to
me
me
out.
the rarest thing in the NFL is an offensive guy, a coach that can lead. There's very few of them.
O-
Very few of them. That's
Okay,
Andy Reid.
okay.
That's McVay. That's Harbaugh. So to me, if you're going to bring an offensive guy, there's a good chance that he might go the way of McDaniels. Yeah, an offensive mind. He's going to wow you with some of his calls, but then in a couple years, no one's going to want to play for him. And then you have the whole thing
Okay,
of
shot.
build another. Like to me, the number one thing a coach got to bring to the table, defense or offensive, period. Can you build
Okay,
a fucking culture? Like,
okay. Let me ask you a
Yes.
question. Let me ask you a
100.
question. The last
But
time, the last time the Bears went to the playoffs, they
but
was
but
respectable,
Nagy
were they
but
not?
Nagy's
they were
first year he
respectable
built
because of their defense.
his
People were
first.
scared of their defense more than their offense. Their offense
Yeah, but
did
he
Dude,
built
just
that
enough,
culture.
which I give him
He
credit
built
dude,
a
for. I give him
culture.
credit for that.
he built that culture.
The
Not
first
only he
year
built
he
No,
that
no,
built
no,
a
no,
culture.
no, no,
culture.
no. Look, I
Wait,
was
wait,
born in New
wait,
York, but I live in Chicago, and I was here during those days. That is not true. The culture came from the
wait. So who
defense.
built it?
The defense. It's
Who's the
that
head coach?
they're
Who's the
they
head coach
go
of that
off
Who
of
team?
their
put the
defense.
heck?
Don't you can laugh
Yo,
all you want. I'm telling you, from somebody that lives in the Chicago
yo,
area,
look,
their culture came from their defense because they knew, hey, no matter if we fuck up, if we score 10 points, our defense got us. So that's where their
who
fucking
Would you
culture
would
came
you
from.
who
So
hired the
so
defensive
That's not
coordinator?
culture. That's a philosophy.
But then you're
Culture
proving my point even
is
more. In all those years,
culture
he
is
didn't
making
build
sure
a
that
culture.
everyone on the team plays 100%.
But
That
then
they're
get
in
yeah,
for
that
it. They
worked
want
for
to
the
win,
first
and
couple
they don't take
years.
time off.
That then a couple years that worked, but then by year three, no one bought into it because he didn't build anything. That's my
No,
point. It might work a year or two,
wait,
but it
wait.
doesn't mean it'll translate year three, year four.
Now let me ask you a question. Was it the fact that nobody bought into it, or was it the fact that the GM who ended up getting fired, he fucked it up?
You got, you
I
know,
would
you
I
got
would say okay.
to
I'm not saying, and you're
players
not wrong that the
Right.
in
GM fucked
order
it
to
up,
get better.
but
Okay.
you can only control what you
Okay.
can control, and as the coach, what you can control is the culture.
But
If
Nagy,
not, if
but
you
Nagy,
know what
he
I mean. So it's like
but
if
he
you
went
can
through
survive a stupid GM if you have a
he
great
went
culture.
through a block.
You know what I mean.
He
You can
went
get
through a.
somebody in here to
Can you hear me?
fix all that, but if you can't build a culture, you know what I mean, to last, then you're not going to me, that's why I don't want Nagy. If you told me Bill O'Brien, sign me the fuck up. If you told me Todd Monken, sign me the fuck up. But that's what I'm scared about an offensive guy, because
So
that's
wait
hard
a
to
minute.
have an
So
offensive
why
guy
Todd Monken?
that can
So
build a
why Todd
fucking
Monken
culture
for
like
sure?
Andy Reid, McVay, and a couple other ones that are out there. So
Q, can you
just
hear me?
know an offensive guy can maybe win
Yeah,
you
I
a
think he
one
can. We
playoff
just talking
game,
over.
but it doesn't mean 2 years from now he's not going to get fired. So what's the point? Is it just to make the playoffs, or is it to actually build a sustainable winning? Like
Let me say
what's
this to
the
you.
thing? What's the difference?
Can I say this to you real quick?
Uh-huh.
All coaches that are out there right now have been fired before, and they all got their second chance, and some of them are rocking with it right now. As great as Andy Reid is, he was fired, right?
Yeah,
Agreed.
yeah.
Okay. So like I said, boom. We're about to see what Vrabel's gonna do. What's the other coaches that's out there? Sean McDermott, he was fired before. I mean, you're gonna have to give somebody a second chance. And on top of that,
Bill
once
Belichick
again,
was fired.
I'm sorry, what you say?
Bill Belichick was fired by
Bill Belichick was fired from Cleveland. So I mean, so let's think about it. If anything, I'm interested in, okay, what's Nagy record? Okay, he's 3 or 4 games over 500. Okay, that's cool. What did he have to work with? Well, he had Mitchell Trubisky, who he also helped make the Pro Bowl. Okay, no problem. And he was
Who
NFL Coach
who
of the
he didn't
Year
draft,
as
by the
well.
way. He didn't want Mitchell Trubisky.
He didn't want Mitchell Trubisky. He didn't want Justin Fields. But yet he helped them. He helped them make a Pro Bowl, and then was named NFL Coach of the Year. If anybody I'm willing to give an opportunity to, that's him. Why wouldn't I do that? With a horrible GM in a bad, hostile environment in the third biggest media market of the U.S.
Look,
I'm
look.
giving him a shot.
If yeah, no, I get wanting the shot, but you also have to know the big old red sign that says red flag, red flag, red flag. That's the thing that like I feel like a lot of people are all like, yeah, give me Nagy. Sure, give me Nagy, but acknowledge the point. Hey, he didn't build a fucking winning culture when he was with the Bears. Was he screwed? Sure. Who the fuck would pitch Mitchell Trubisky in that draft? Was one of the dumbest things any GM could have done ever.
Period.
Granted, I give you that.
Period.
And
But it doesn't
and
change
who
the
else
fact
on that roster?
that while he was there, he didn't build a culture. And
Okay, Sean.
that's literally, can we
His first
agree that
year, they
that's how
went
the
12 and
Lions
4
switched
in his
everything
first
around? The
year.
culture.
And what about the rest of that offensive roster on the Bears? Besides Cohen, who did he have on that offense that
That's
you
Not
would
a
exactly my
start?
single
point.
soul. He
No,
had
He
Jordan
didn't have
he
Howard.
did
nobody.
great. I'm not saying he didn't great, but I'm saying, are you going to be okay with in 2 years? Hey, we made the playoffs. We got knocked out first round, and then year three, when no one's buying into his shit no more, and then we're back to square one.
But we
But we don't know
But
if
exactly
again,
they
the
won't buy
simple
into
fact
this
that
shit.
you
we
don't
don't
know, you
know.
also don't know that Aaron Glenn coming in here, getting an amazing offensive coordinator, can't build a consistent
No, how do
winning
you know he
team.
can get the
Because
how
to
do you
Who's
me,
know
the
he can get the right
amazing
coordinator?
coordinator?
did anyone see Ben fucking Johnson being an amazing coordinator? Did anyone see Cohen being an amazing offensive coordinator? You don't
Well,
know
actually,
until you
Ben
know.
Johnson, yes. Ben Johnson, yes.
John,
I saw that a lot of ways.
your debate is a bunch of you don't knows.
But
So
that's
I
the whole
mean,
point.
we
That's
can
my
do that all
argument
day.
is we are arguing over little things here and there, but the final actual fact is we don't know.
Right.
I don't know.
So once again, I'd rather go with this guy
I
than
don't
anybody
disagree
else.
with the offensive guy. I'm just saying I rather have the guy that can build an offense with the culture. And that's, to me, that's not Nagy. If you told me Bill O'Brien was available, you would agree, give me Bill O'Brien over Nagy. If Todd Monken said, fuck it, I'll take the job, you would take Todd Monken over on Nagy.
I wouldn't. I would not.
Really? That
And,
surprises me.
I'm gonna tell you why. Once again, I want, and I've said this the whole time, I don't want a first time coordinator. I want someone who has had that position before, so he knows exactly what to expect, so he's not overwhelmed like we've just seen. Anytime you get the first time coordinator, they don't really know what entails in the job. Next thing you know, they're over there. Their focus is not on what it should be on because they're spreading themselves thin. I don't want that. I want someone who's done it before. Hell, he was named coach of the year
And
in
June, to your
four
point,
in 4 years, one losing season.
would you guys
But
agree that the trend in the league now, and the success it seems to be with second time coaches and second time quarterbacks going to getting like their careers
yes,
resurrected?
yes,
That
yes,
seems to be, and you have to follow trends sometimes too when you're
yes,
doing this stuff.
yeah. You're absolutely right, Bill. You're absolutely right.
So
And you know
okay,
what? That's the reason why. Now, maybe I'm just wished on a star. I'm hoping we get Bragunski. I can't pronounce his name. I hope we get him. I hope we get Nagy. I hope we get Doug Peterson, and then go ahead and bring in Justin Fields, and let's see how it play out.
who's your DC there, June? Who's your
I'm all
DC?
the way there except for Justin Fields.
DC. At this point, I don't know. I don't know. And not
Maybe
for nothing.
Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles when they get fired today.
And look, not for nothing. Let me say this real quick. What we've seen over this past weekend, because everybody defense basically, I mean, it's an offensive league, man. Give me an offense. I'm focused on the offense more than I am on the defense. Really.
Yeah, but you can't forget about it altogether, though. To me, defense. I look at the Chiefs this year. They're 15 and whatever they were, 15 or 2 or whatever. Um, they won how many tight games this year? It wasn't because the offense was putting up 40 points a game. Their defense was the shit this year, and
Okay,
that
that.
kept them in the games. And let me tell you something. It's like, to me, it's just, I understand. I'm old school. I still believe defense and a running game could win championships. I
Hmm.
get it. I get it about the quarterbacks today, but you can't have an ass defense and think you're going to win in this league either.
Well, I'm not. I wouldn't even say
Or
ass.
go far.
Just
Or go far. Or go
just
far.
get just give me a middle of the pack defense, but give me a top 10 offense.
Yeah, but June, we already had that. I'm back. We
What
already
do we
had a
already
middle of
have?
When
this
did we
because
already have a top
hold
When?
on,
top
hold
Yeah,
10?
on,
tell me
hold
this.
on. Can I please let me just we had a middle of the pack defense this year. It was ranked in the single digits, which is ridiculous. And to
Defense
me,
was trash.
it was. But I'm just saying, we've always had a decent defense.
Yeah, but
Now the
we didn't
offense,
have a good offense.
right. Now the offense,
You have
to
to have
me,
a good
Yes.
offense if you
yes.
have a
But
medium defense. But we didn't have
okay,
either one who was good.
okay.
That's a
And to
fact.
be fair, the offense this year was better than what we've had. But to me, it's unacceptable because I didn't get to finish the point. I,
But Petey, how
we
about how about the Charger game this weekend and Houston? Houston just locked down the Chargers offense. That's why they won that game. Don't tell me about Stroud they, in the beginning of that game, the Chargers had the ball like 3, 4 times in the red zone. They came away with
yeah.
6 points.
And
That's
D'Amico
what won that
Ryans did a
game.
good job. I
And
thought
yeah, and then
D'Amico Ryan stepped up finally
But
this year.
they
but didn't Herbert turn the ball over 5 times?
Yes, he did 4 times, four or
right.
five
Who turned
times. Yes,
right?
So
But
I mean, if
that's
you
the
do that
defense.
in a playoff game, you're going to lose.
right,
Yeah, but
exactly.
Rusty,
But
there's a
right,
reason
Rusty. But
he
technically,
turned it
go ahead,
over.
Bill. But
There's a
technically,
reason he
no,
turned it over.
yeah, nobody gave the Texans a chance, and I think that motivated the Texans.
No, my
To be
point is,
honest,
Petey, the defense. But my point is, Petey, the defense dominated in that game. That's why they won
correct.
that game. Everyone's all about the quarterbacks. We play the ball two sides of the ball in this game. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
we're too quick to dismiss the defensive side of the game. It's a 50% of the game too.
We're not
We're not
we-
dismissing it.
we're not saying that we want to ignore the defense. You have to have a decent defense. You don't have to have a top five defense if you have a top
Exactly.
five offense.
And
And
that's the
the
point.
same goes around the other way. If you have
Right.
a top five defense and a
Middle of the pack.
middle of the pack offense, you can still succeed. But this is an offensive league right now. All of the rules
Yes.
are geared toward the offense having a better chance.
I
The
agree with
defense
that.
Yes.
No,
is
I agree
often
with that.
hand. I mean, there isn't much they can do because they've taken
Fair enough.
all of their abilities to go and do the things they did before.
We
Yep.
And look
we
at the Eagle,
we
even the Eagle Packer game. That was a defensive game. That was like an
we
old school black and blue game. Hurts
we
threw
Yeah.
for
we
like 70 yards. Like,
we
you
had a
know, you know,
number three defense and it's gotten us nowhere. We've had a number
that's because
five
our
defense.
offense, but June, that's because our offense is archaic, like
Yep.
archaic bad.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, no,
We're
no.
Like
That's
it's old
exactly
dinosaur
what
age.
school.
we're trying to say. You
Right.
can get a really good defensive coordinator usually a lot easier than you can get a really good offensive coordinator.
Exactly. That's the point that I'm trying to make.
Yeah, June,
I
we got to
agree.
get office in and then I got to close.
All right, go ahead. Office, what up, brother? Good
Okay, I'll be
morning.
quiet now.
It's
No,
all
no,
right,
no,
Good
no.
man.
You
morning,
know, no, no, no.
everybody.
You ain't got to be quiet.
I think
Office.
I was listening while I was in court. It was pretty funny, but I think the one key too that you guys are growing into, right? It's seeing this team overcome those moments of adversity where you've been let down and had a chance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like like for example, like you my Ravens, right? Like we've kind of gotten over that hump of being held back in third and long. You know what I mean? Like for a long time, it was a disappointment because we just weren't completing or making the most of it or whatever have you. And just them little moments that let you down. Once that gets back onto a purposeful thing, I feel like a lot of the distress will turn around too. You know what I mean? It's going to take a movement, but that's when they prove you right instead of wrong. This shit'll get better, and it sounds like it is too.
I
By
hope
the way,
so.
Hey,
I
does
sure hope.
everybody agree with the coach last night? Kept going for it on fourth down. Wouldn't it be a different story if they would have lost today?
Yes, it would have been.
Of course, everybody's going to get second guessed.
I don't think that was the best coaching going on. I don't know.
Yeah,
He looks great now.
I don't think O'Connell should have went for it so much against Detroit a couple weeks ago,
Right,
last week, but
right.
he did.
Yeah.
Guys, I
but
got
you
to
know
wrap
what? I
up.
think. I'm
Go
sorry.
go ahead,
I
real
just
quick.
think those teams are also working on what you call critical moment football. I think that's why they were doing it a little bit, like Minnesota per se. But
Yeah.
you know what I
Guys,
mean.
have
It's
a
all good.
great day. Thanks for helping Mark. As always, great space. Rusty, June, as always. Uh, Jarek, Bill, Rusty, thank you. Shad, what up? Little, Brick Rock, however you say it. Uh, have a great day, guys. I'll be having Brian Costello on hopefully this week with some other people. So make sure you tune in. Shout out to all the people, especially U Stadium, that helped retweet Mark's, you know, goal. Thank you, U Stadium, and the
Don't forget to
people
send the
involved there.
links. The links,
Yes,
Speedy, you and June.
send the
Absolutely.
links. Have a great day and be well, guys. Ciao.
Take care.
34. Tear it down. Jarek, where you at?
Tear it down.
Good day, guys.